Let's go, baby! Bomb arrows to the rescue. Ha! Ah! No! Oh, that assist, baby! No! Don't touch him. No! You... What did I do? That's an accident. Freaking Vito. I got the triple collapse! Oh! Ah! Oh, Danielle, go to the fire thing. It teleports us.
I want my money back.
I trusted you! Trombone. This one is trombone. Yo, I got it! Yes! Let's go! Yeah! 24 hours done. 24 hours finished. Oh, time to beat. 23 hours, 28 minutes. Oh my god! We did it! We did it! Oh my god! I couldn't have done it without you guys.
What the fuck up? Holy shit!
Wait, it went through?
I
gave it $50. I just did the fastest poop in mankind. In humankind. What I do for you guys? Poop really fast. That's about it, but still. Oh. Nice getting first. I almost pressed stop streaming by accident because I'm an idiot. If I press this button. Oh, I don't have Spotify open. Now I feel dumb. There we go. Hey! Changed my camera. I need to shave. Question mark? I'm gonna put my feet up. Oh. Lando's thing is up there because I lost in something recently. But yeah, today we're gonna be playing possibly some Mario Kart. And definitely some Mario Party, so that should be fun. I literally just bought the game to play. Never played it before. Let me message Triscuit Biscuit. Yo. I'm gonna press buttons. Did I press buttons correctly? Did I? No. No, I didn't. Yay! Wait, why didn't it show the thingy-majiggy? One moment, please. Video capture device. I thought it's supposed to be capturing the video of the capture device. Of course I screwed it up. We're just gonna ignore that. Anyway. What's up, Ping Pong? How you doing? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how life works right here. I think I'm dumb. How do I capture my game? I don't remember how I used to capture it. I heard a hello there. Hey, stream elements. Ping Pong, IQ plus. Let's go. How you doing, Ping Pong, though? How's life? Sorry, I have to figure this thing out now. Because I am dumb. So you guys can... Wait. You guys can look at my face while I figure it out. There we go. And look, you can see on the bottom right, Lando is there because I screwed up. Pretty sweet. Nice. The video capture device is supposed to capture the video of the capture. Oh, now it is. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Yo. Let's see if he responds.
Because of, like, you know, the fucking mask mandate.
lightened up a little. But it's still PCR testing. They're making sure contact tracing is happening.
I'm trying to see who the person. Hi, bye, baby, bye, baby. What's up, Nathan? How you doing? Let me figure this out. I'm too dumb. Oh, he's right here.
Hello there.
Pull me in, lol. Dude. Okay. Now we're good? Hey, what's up, fairy? Taking 10 to 15 off. Nice. What's up? Nothing much. Well, today we are... What's today's games? Today we're going to play some Mario Kart and some Mario Party Superstars with Streamer Boy. The Mario Party... Wait, let me go to full screen. The Mario Party will be with him, with 2 other streamers, but the Mario Kart you guys could join in on. Doctor might already be playing it. Okay, I'm going to do art. Bye. Alright, see ya, Nathan. Yeah, that's what's happening today. It was kind of out of nowhere, too. And on the bottom right, you can see Lando illustrations, because I lost a challenge against him yesterday.
Hello there.
You see? I am. I don't know what he's saying, but...
How's your day going, Caitlin?
Oh, hello.
Mr. Elliot?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What the fuck is up, boy?
Did the sky...
Quote you from the call. It's what I wanted to hear.
Well, what's up with you?
Not much. Just playing a little Mario Kart. You're green, right? I just saw that name pop up.
No, I'm brown.
Yeah, wow.
You're killing it with the jokes.
Thanks.
Yeah,
you're
you're
killing it
out
with
the
the
gate.
mic. You're killing your mic. It's very loud.
Am I?
Oh, mine?
Yeah, it's okay though.
Oh, God.
Oh, I thought you meant me. I was like, oh, what?
Let
I
me
haven't
lower.
adjusted shit since we last talked.
I'm a dip. All good, all good. What's up, Joey?
Okay, let me just talk to my thousands of viewers. Give me a second, guys.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
All right.
What's up,
Do they have
Chudo?
their mute hot button?
I have a button
it's
on my
so
stream
hot.
deck for it. Yeah.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah. Actually, I have a foot pedal deck now too.
Oh,
Wait,
fancy.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it just came out recently.
You're insane. That's nuts.
Yeah, but I don't have enough USB ports, so I'm not using it now.
Oh, you don't? I just got a fucking new one today, actually, a little 8 port one, and I love it.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm gonna have to get something like that.
I can send it to you. It's so nice, and it's only $20, and it has like little on-off switches, so you can reset shit without
Ooh.
unplugging it.
Yeah, send me the link for that if you can.
Absolutely. I'm loving it so far. It's really good. But
Oh, thank you, Doggo. Thank you.
I want to get a stream deck just to fuck around with it, but also
It's really
I love
fun.
how stupid my setup is already.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
It's just
yeah, I can understand that too. Yeah.
It's just my dumbass DIY charm, or maybe it's just me being beholden to it, but also I just love how it feels.
Guys,
Yeah, I got a DIY setup too. Nothing real fancy.
if you wanna join,
What
this is
your
my friend
setup,
code.
actually, Jimmy? What is your mic? It's not a Yeti, right?
It used to be Yeti, but I kind of upgraded. I don't even know what the name of it is. It's like an Aston something.
Well, it sounds like you downgraded it. No, I'm just.
Oh, God.
Nah, it
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah,
It sounds like.
I don't know. As long as it does the job, I guess.
No, your shit sounds crisp.
Thank you, thank you.
None of that fucking Zoom call echo
Oh, that's good. That's good.
from others that I try to talk to, where it's like they're literally talking to their AirPods.
Oh, I hate that so much.
Holy shit! I'm just like, bro, I'm trying to do a stream, and you're talking to me in a fucking wind tunnel.
What if they're too poor to afford it? Are you being?
You're too poor to afford a real mic, but you have AirPods. Go fuck yourself.
What if they got gifted the AirPods?
Go fuck your grandmother. Whoever gifted you the AirPods, fuck them.
What
They
if
should've
they're-
got you a real mic instead?
What if their grandma just died?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm sorry to say, but I stand by my original point.
What if she was
Oh,
fighting in
goddamn it.
Ukraine?
All right, we're stopping here. We're stopping here.
Why?
Stop it.
Oh yeah! Exclamation point charity on Triscuit's stream or donate, right?
Exclamation charity, everybody.
Yeah.
Fucking donate to the cause.
Yeah, there you go. I got you, bro. I got
Always with the promo.
you.
Always with the promo.
Damn, your IQ busting me a
Oh,
lot.
speaking of, I gotta update my shit. Now,
I don't have Mario Kart 8. Oh.
I love like talking with other streamers on a VC because y'all have like good mic quality. I don't have to deal with like you said, the echoing and like the I don't know background noise and all that shit.
Fucking seriously though.
Yeah.
Actually.
That is true. And then like we also understand if we have to talk to our thousands of people in chat.
True.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit of like, I'll be muted and talking to chat, and then like someone says something, and I try and hop back in, and they're just like, "Oh no, it wasn't important," and now I just sound like a dickhead trying to hear a fucking stupid little snippet of a word.
Wait, what were you saying? Sorry, I was talking to chat.
Oh, it's okay. I was just saying something stupid, a little snippet of a word.
Oh, I'm in the game now.
Are you?
Yo.
Yeah.
What map did you vote for? It better have been a good one.
I don't know. I usually don't really think about it. Ooh, Jared joined too.
Wait, who did?
Jared. He's my friend.
Oh,
He's a
me?
streamer friend, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, no shot. What a dickhead.
Why? What did he do? to
Stole
me?
your name.
Streaming on Twitch. What a fucking douche.
I know, right? Given that... Well, actually, no, never mind. I was about to say giving that money to Bezos, but he's actually giving it to the Ukrainian refugees.
He's giving about 60% of it to Ukraine.
Yeah.
He's giving 100% of what he gets from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see Doctor. You're spectating, Fairy? Yeah. I was spectating too.
Yo, Ping, are you good at this game?
Well, Doctor's a mod in my channel, and he tells me that relative to you guys, I suck, so I don't know.
That's weird to me, because I just remember when I first got the game.
Yeah,
I
he said
tried
you got better, but I
Okay,
just passed you, so I think he's lying. I don't know.
It's- When I first got this game, I played in Pong's chat. Like, just during one of his streams, I hopped in with him and all of his mods, and they fucking comstered me for like 30 minutes straight. Like, just last place, red shells nonstop. It hurt.
We were targeting you, actually.
You fucking asshole. I wouldn't doubt it, but also, ow.
Nah,
hurt.
no, we weren't. Yeah, you were just not good, and
That was bad.
you had a lot of, well, you probably still have a lot of, like, people in chat to talk to, so you genuinely weren't concentrating on the game much.
Yeah, no, it was a rough fucking
Yo,
learning
Jimmy,
curve.
bye!
Oh,
I just hit Jimmy with fire. Oh. I mean,
Again? Oh, God.
oh, you
damn
got
it.
hit again?
Yeah. Damn.
I got to see that spin out. That was good.
There's no hope for me.
Of course
Uh,
it's
shortcut
fine,
though?
Fairy.
Oh, let's go.
Damn it. Don't put the banana. It's not very
Why
nice.
not?
It's not very
Why not?
nice. Not very nice.
Oh my God. It's you too.
Bye.
I'm fucking
I got stuck in the grass.
me in the wall, you fucking dick.
All right, bye, Jared. I hit you. Oh, I hit.
me.
Oh, what?
Fucking stupid banana.
No, what? Someone hit me out of the way. Wait, so whoever wins gets 100 subs, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
Yo, first. Oh, about to get.
Oh my god.
No!
That's BS. I was gonna be like third.
For the star, you little bitches.
Oh God.
I was just warming up.
Oh my goodness. Yo, Doc with a solid 60. Are you okay, my guy?
He's too cracked. Too cracked.
Guys, don't.
My man
hype
eats
him up too
Ritalin like
much.
Mentos. This is fucked up.
I'll take second. I'll take second.
I just joined, so 12th is not accurate. Okay. But I still made top 20, so it's pretty good.
Fucking hell yeah, dude. You got it. You got it.
Thanks. Hey, check new profile
Okay,
picture.
what's your
up,
favorite
Mac?
map in this game, by the way?
Whichever one I win in most often. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
That's one.
The one that's like an oval that just goes round and around and around. I like that.
Okay.
One. What?
Baby Park, the one that's 7 laps.
Yeah,
Oh.
I really hate it, but that's what makes me like it at the same time.
Same.
Yeah.
I love the chaos.
Yeah,
It's pure chaos. I love it.
Exactly.
I'm doing Baby Park. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, same.
All right, I'll do it too.
Yeah.
I liked. Oops. I'm
If
almost
you're looking
leaving
for
the
it, it's
group.
under the Animal Crossing leaf.
I found it. I used to like the Yoshi Falls, like on the DS or whatever. That one I liked a lot. Ooh, it's Brooke. Nice.
Wait, is that in this game?
That I can't join the call.
The one that has like split paths all over the place?
It's not in this game. No.
Oh no, damn.
By the way, a streamer friend is asking if he could join the call.
Well, I mean, I don't know how long we're gonna be on Mario Kart before we start up Mario Party, but
True. Yeah, don't feel like you have to say yes. Like you could say no.
I don't
yeah,
care.
no, I just don't want to like overclog the call and have to boot people out or anything after the fact.
I hit Doctor. Okay. Sorry.
Fucking meme double.
Sorry,
First
Fairy.
place?
Triscuit hates you. You should make a... What is it called? The Reddit? The Twit Longer. You should make a Twit Longer about him.
Twit longer. Honestly, make a subreddit dedicated to hating me.
You need,
You know,
we need all the attention we can get as small streamers.
actually grow my audience through hate.
Oh, please. Oh, did I hit you with the green shell?
Me? No.
Oh, that's a shame. But I hit you with the red shell, right? Oh. Damn. What's a star? I just messed up. Oh. Oh, I thought it was the last lap. I just... Oh. I threw everything.
I'm in first right now, and I'm so scared.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind!
I'm in second.
Yo, please, it's almost done. Not a blue shell! Oh my fucking god! No.
Wait, there's a blue shell?
Let's go!
No, it's hitting me! Are you kidding me? Doctor just... What? Doctor did not deserve second there. That was bullshit.
Class action lawsuit. Nintendo's going down tomorrow.
Doctor is so fast that he says "Lamau" in chat right after, like, as it was happening.
Yeah.
What?
He had it pre-typed. It's literally a shortcut for him. Fuck you, Doc. Oh my god, dude. That was horse. That...
I'm happy.
Sorry, Fairy.
God damn it.
Almost episode 490.
You are.
Damn. Oh, 400. Nice.
Let's go Big Blue. I want to sprint.
What's going on right now in the show, Mac?
I'll go mute city.
Doc with a fucking smiley in my chat. God damn it.
I'm gonna go random. Oh, keep pressing B.
Random's always safe.
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably close up these Cheez-Its before they go stale.
There's over 1,000 One Piece episodes actually, Ping Pong. There's a lot.
You guys are both live right now, right?
Yes, I am
No.
live. Oh.
Duh. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah.
In which case, everybody should go and drop a follow for these little boys.
Oh, that's
Aw.
so
Fucking
sweet.
spell
Thank
properly.
you.
Holy shit.
Little boys. I'm older than you, I think. I actually
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
I'm the baby of the group, I think. I'm 21.
Ugh. Nah, I'm joking. Imagine. 21. I remember those
Ew.
days, like 3 years ago. Actually, quite different time of my life. No joke, but not because of the age, obviously.
Yeah. Pre-COVID days.
Well, that and also just like living in Japan. I moved to Japan when I was 21. So what
Oh,
are you
nice.
doing with your life at 21?
Nothing. I'm literally at home all the time streaming. It's so sad.
I mean, it's only sad until you become a big streamer. Then it's like, good job. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So many bananas.
No fucking luck.
Sorry to do that to you, by the way.
Ow. That hurt. I'm not gonna get angry if I. Ow. The blue shell hit me. If I get too angry,
Oh
I
my
play
God.
worse.
Jared!
Yeah, I'm not getting hit by
Oh,
your
I got
fire.
hit by a bullet,
Oh
Bill.
my-
Oh my fucking God. I'm actually doing so bad. I hate this fucking map. I can't.
Yeah, this map's really weird looking.
What is this even? I forget what it's called. This isn't Royal Raceway. This is.
Donut Plains? I think that's what it's called.
Oh,
shit,
yo,
that-
Jared.
Damn.
What? What, bro?
Wait, didn't you just get hit by a red shell?
I totally didn't.
Oh. Never
Why?
mind then.
Did you send one toward me?
No, I thought I did it towards someone else.
Oh,
Yeah. I just stole a banana with a ghost. God damn it.
May I play it too? What's up, Lotus? Of course. Hop right in.
I hope I hit somebody with that. I hope I hit somebody with that. Please, please, please.
Hey, fair.
Yo, let's
no,
go!
are you you passed me last second, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh
Lucky
my
mushroom.
God. Damn.
Bitch!
Yeah, One Piece has been around since like the
My
year I was
W's
born,
are
I
so
think.
thick.
Like 20 years, 24 years. You
What
know-
map should I vote for?
Fucking bold font 37. That's how thick they are.
Very.
Royal Raceway.
Good map, good map.
The only reason
Royal Raceway and Toad Harbor are just like my safety maps. They just feel safe.
So yeah, they're the best maps.
I kind of I feel bad. I wouldn't mind you in the call, but it's not like my call, so I'm sorry. That sounded funny. Yeah, I don't want to be like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's not my call to make.
I hate racing on that.
Fucking map.
You don't have to IQ plus me all the time, but I appreciate it. I like seeing it go up.
Hard.
The amount of times I've fallen off those things, it's not funny. I hate it so much.
So every time, and it's not even only in 200s. It's like if you have a boost, you're going.
Yes,
off
I
the
do.
fucking
What's the
edge.
reason?
Exactly. By the way, I hate 200. I'm so glad you don't like it too, Jared.
Yeah, I don't
Fucking
like
hate
200 either.
200.
Oh, thank God.
Some
Like,
people
it's
like
fine.
that's the true measurement. That's how you know you're a real carter. It's like, wow, you're a fucking dickhead. It's not fun.
Yeah. Everyone in my chat's like, oh, you're such a noob. I'm like, okay, I don't care. Call me a noob.
Yeah, we probably
wow,
are
I enjoy
noobs.
a game
so.
when it's like grinding my nuts on a cheese grater. That's so much fun.
That
Oh
sounds
yeah.
sounds really weird. You should go to a doctor about that.
It's only natural.
You know why I love Jimmy?
Why?
Because he makes me feel like I'm actually funny.
You are funny.
Aw, that's so sweet. See what I mean?
I love.
Jimmy, you just fucking roasted him, and he reassured you that you're funny, you piece of shit.
No, I'm not roasting him. Oh, I took out your banana. Never mind.
Damn.
Bye.
I'm
Get out
so
of my
bad at
way.
this game. I'm so
Get
fucking
out
bad.
of my way.
Never tried 300cc. Does that exist, broccoli? What the fuck?
No, that doesn't. Broccoli is a liar. You should perma ban him.
Nah, I can't forever ban a sub. Well, I
Yeah.
can if they're that bad, but you know.
Or once we're bigger, like 10,000 viewers,
Oh, true, yeah.
then it's like bye broccoli.
Permaban me, pussy? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
That's how you get a quick ass timeout for me.
Yeah.
I fucking won't.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's my content. What do you mean?
Damn, Doctor is so ahead.
Dude, it's like upsetting how far ahead he is every game that I just think second place is first. Like,
Yeah, that's how
Exactly.
I feel when I play with
I
him
just
too.
adjust my goals and continue accordingly.
Who threw that green shell? You were so off. Wait,
It's
do red
totally-
shells? Yeah, go ahead.
Red shells, red shells, red shells.
Do red shells?
God damn it. No, sorry. I was hoping for red shell. I just misspoke.
Do red what? I'm not first. Why does it always hit me?
Yes, I passed my ball!
Yeah, this is so stupid. That was so dumb. Bro,
What was that bullshit?
Doctor finishes the game 5 hours ago, so the blue shell hits me, yeah?
What are you fucking?
Let's go.
Are you fucking? What? Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that one got me a little salty. That was horse shit at the end.
Oh my god.
Your
Bring
blue
back the
shell
high
did.
roll.
Your blue shell did hit me, Fairy. Shame. Game of Thrones. Smilers. Get pinged to 420k. There should be some reward. All the rewards should be open, by the way, now, so you guys could have fun with that as well. If you're like bored with IQ pluses, but yeah, we're almost at 6,900. I'm back.
I've been doing so not good these games. It's okay, sweetie. Progress, not perfection.
There's only 6 of us.
We have Toad Harbor and 1 Hyrule.
Ooh, Swamp Ruins.
Oh no, never mind.
I never do good on this map. Easily gonna get like 6th or 7th place.
Wait, are you in now, Fairy? Whose stream am I going to donate to?
Excuse me
by the way.
again.
Upset Triscuit.
Jay, do you have the burp counter on?
Oh, goddamn right, every day. All day, every day. It never stops. Dude, if I had a burp counter on me at work, I would be in the fucking quadruple digits. Seriously. It's so bad. They just fuel me with LaCroix over there, and I'm just belching all day.
Do you have a record for most burps in a stream?
No, but I do have most for fucking LaCroix's drank in a single work day. I think it was 13. 13
Yo.
I made a pyramid.
LaCroix are gas though, they're so good.
So fucking good. The key lime. Oh, so
By
good.
the way, someone's asking where they could donate to charity. So basically, Triscuit here, Triscuit Biscuit, all the money's making this month on stream is going to Ukraine to funnel their war efforts.
Motherfucker.
So
Will not be for war efforts. This is a conscious part of it I have. My
Yeah.
specific goal is to give it to the kids who are in need of food, shelter, and psychosocial help throughout all this bullshit.
but not the adults. He only cares about the kids.
Specifically.
Yeah, all the refugees that are adults are
old
just
men,
screwed.
like 90-year-old Ukrainians on the side of the road begging for help, you get nothing. I give it to the newborn.
This
but yeah,
man's
his.
blood is-
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just reading in chat. Someone said this man's blood is half LaCroix. Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, I have liquor bubbles. My blood is carbonated.
Oh yeah.
So you could check out Upset Triscuit. That's his stream name, I think.
Welcome in, person who wants to donate. I would encourage you to either, sub, dono, or just bypass me entirely and donate to a fund that will benefit however you prefer.
You could donate on my stream too, actually, if you !donate. But, it's fine. How did Doctor catch up? Yes! I've been first literally all game. Watch me not be first.
Oh my
because
god,
of-
what was that bullshit?
If I get first, Doctor, you have to, I don't know, you have to
gonna
be proud of me.
biggity fucking
Yo,
cry.
let's go.
Let's go! I'm
I'm going
first!
to-
Let's go! First all
No,
game!
no fireballs, no fireballs. Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Eat shit. Oh my, I got fucking 5th place!
Look how far away I am from everyone. Oh.
The one you just said. Fuck off, Twitch. I know he burped.
Jared, you're not even top 3, bro.
Shut up! Do I need a 13th reason? No, because I'm on number 39.
Damn.
Second place, let's go.
Me and Jimmy are pretty close. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm.
Is Jared even
unfortunately, I'm not
playing?
even in top 3. This is basically where I bow out.
I feel
Fuck
like
Mario Party. Have fun hosting by yourselves, dickheads.
Oh my
you were
God.
5th, yeah, Fairy?
All right. We're starting up another one.
Ping Smarties
Just
in
announce
world.
to your chats if anybody wants to hop in. Fucking blah blah blah. I'll be right back.
6900, let's go.
Grabbing another seltzer.
Alright. If anyone wants to jump in, you could add me through the friend code, by the way, guys. But yeah, if you want to give to charity, you could give. Well, this is for refugees that are like fleeing Ukraine and stuff. Is it donate? No, it's command. It's yeah, it is donate. Well, it didn't pop up for some reason. Or you could check out Upset Triscuit and donate there as well. Your IQ is
There,
sheesh
fuck
worthy.
Twitch. Yo, fuck Twitch for real though.
Thanks.
Agreed. We're all moving to YouTube, right?
Yo, fuck. I'm already on Hitbox. Don't even worry.
I'm gonna stream on TikTok soon.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna stream my PC screen from my iPhone.
Well, that's IRL streaming.
True.
Well, not the
Oh,
PC
okay.
screen, but like, you know what I mean.
Okay, cheat codes for the stream. What the fuck? Welcome in, Fair Enough Muffin. Donate? How? Well, I'm just doing like anybody who gifts subs to the stream or donates to me throughout the stream. Anything from this month will be going to the Ukraine. And I'm currently looking at the, I believe it is going. Wait, fuck. I forget the specific name of it. Shit. I'm trying to remember. I'm high as shit. Don't fault me for this. But it's a specific fund that's going to help kids who are in need of housing, food, and psychosocial help throughout all of that. Pink hair glasses on the left. Also, Nuff equals me. What? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, Nuff in the lobby is him. He's one of my viewers.
Yeah, no. All proceeds and Twitch payouts from this month will be going to Twitch, or not Twitch. Fucking 30% of all revenue from this month will be going to Twitch, no matter what. Don't worry about that. No, all the shit I get is going.
I thought you said not fair, doctor.
So anything you feel comfortable giving, whether to me directly or not me directly.
You're not making
Holy
yourself
shit,
sound good right
fucking
now.
Just kidding. 5 gifted subs from Fair Enough Muffin to
Ooh,
Sleep Serendipity.
the Ryan
Hi,
King.
Big O, Sasha Stevens, Pommy Plays, and the Ryan King. Thank you so much for those gifted subs, and I appreciate you so much. Enjoy the emotes, all that good shit. I thank you so much. I'm getting so much that I'm gonna be able to pay forward, and I'm very happy about it. This is making me very happy. Like, just streaming today has been a fucking great treat.
Nice.
This has been a very, very, very great day. Thank you a whole lot. Fair enough. I haven't even subbed myself. That's what blew me away. I was like, I didn't even see a sub for you, and I see 5 gifted. I'm like,
Listen,
what the
my
fuck?
viewers are the best. Okay, that's
Yo, I find streamers with the best fucking viewers. Actually,
hell yeah.
and I leech them and I steal them away from their content
Wait,
creators.
what?
But I find the best content creators.
Yeah.
in the community,
I'll take it.
right? Before I take them.
Actually, 3 of my viewers got subbed to this month. Today, I mean, on your channel.
Seriously?
Yeah, the Ryan
I
King, which
love
is my editor, Doctor, and Dinell, I think.
Yeah, and Lotus got a sub on yours too, I think.
Lotus got one earlier on the first round from somebody.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I love the cross pollination. I really. It's very nice. Literally what podcasters do, but like Twitch streamers. Amazing.
Yeah. I just got 2 boomerangs. It's kind of cool, actually.
I got 2 mushrooms, so like, please don't fuck me while I use these, and I'll thank you.
Have you ever?
Thank you.
No way, leave your stream open for 2 days and you're still streaming. This is Pog. Yeah, I've been streaming for 2 days straight. I'm so exhausted.
Yeah. He's doing
Not
a
a-
sub
not
with
a
the
great-
3-hour stream when, Jimmy?
Yeah. Bro, I can barely survive like a 5-hour stream. Honestly.
Hell yeah, ping viewers are elite. Hell yeah. Sorry, I was reading chat.
Oh, fuck. Jared, you screwed me.
I am literally fucking Versace. I am knockoff Versace right now.
Keep getting
Holy
hit.
shit. I missed the power-ups.
Ow! How does someone
I
hit-
missed my mommy.
Yeah.
What the hell? Someone passed me with the rocket and I just died.
Game fucking sucks, dude.
Damn.
I got beat by a comm. That's why I'm fucking mad.
I'm the elitist of the elite. Hell yeah, you guys are the elitist of the elite. Honestly, don't tell anyone, but I really, really like my chat. I think you guys, best chat. When I jump into these other streamers' chats, they're okay, but they're not as good as you guys. Aw, that's so sweet.
Ever tried hitting yourself with a blue shell? Is that possible?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to try it. I want to go from 12th place with a blue shell, see if it can lap the whole map and run back in.
Same. It's a speedrun category too? Oh, that's interesting.
That's weird.
Solid 9th. I'm also streaming this. If cross-pollination was a thing, I'd have more than one viewer. I mean, look, cross-pollination just with like streamers that I know, just people I've met over however long, just raiding into or getting raided into and keeping up, and just like, you know, Pong, how long have I known you now?
Like a year, I think.
Here, I'm gonna type in your fucking chat, and I want you to tell me how long I've been there.
Goff. I'm in the middle of playing a game. Sorry.
Yeah, whenever you're not racing, or you know, if you wanted to get, you know, dedicated streamer and click on my name.
Yeah, but you still like half my viewers, so I don't know. You know what I mean?
Fair, fucking fair. Oh my god.
Wait, you could have done followage if you were dedicated.
You have that?
Yeah.
Bet.
I also have first place in Mario Kart right now. Something you don't know about.
Yeah, God, I mean.
I just fell off the map. That's like instant karma.
Let's go, first place!
Who did I send that red shell at? Because it was definitely meant for Pong, but I thought I sent it to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor checked. This is why Doctor is the best mod. February 9th. Wait, what?
Over a year.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I've known you for a year. That's actually fucking absurd.
That is crazy. What the hell?
Oh my god, dude, that's disgusting. You need to stop. I'm not talking to you anymore after this. That's it. This is the year trial run, and you're done.
I remember I remember you gave me like $5 or like $10 or something, and you were like, bro, keep at it or something. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
I don't remember that, but that definitely sounds like some dumb shit I would do.
Yeah, you did that because you raided. I don't remember if I raided you first or the other way around. I think maybe I raided you and then you raided me like the next day or something.
Let's go.
I like doing that.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's what happened.
It's so nice. I love that. I know, right?
Sorry, that was my stepsis.
I love just throwing out to like streamers like, oh, this looks good, or this looks nice, or I like your alerts, or something. Because just those little bits just really make you feel good about whatever you've been working on the site. Like,
That is true.
it validates all that you've been working for, all the hours you've been streaming, all the fucking words you've been saying to people you don't know are listening. Like, just hearing someone say, yo, there's just some fucking cool emotes. Love
First
that.
place, let's go!
You piece of shit, I'm being wholesome and I can make you hate you. Fuck off.
Yeah. Bro, this
You're
is
not allowed
dumb.
No, Jimmy, see, the thing about me being wholesome is you're not allowed to do well during it. Otherwise, I fucking hate you.
Sick, you got the 8-item thing? Yeah. I sacrificed the dub to
I'll purposely throw it.
Yo,
Thank you.
Doctor's the ultimate mod. He said I sacrificed the dub to type that. The February 9th. Oh my god.
Thank you, Doc. Appreciate it.
And you know he's not lying because he's the best one here.
Can't you just do followage in his chat? Angel caught that before I fucking even thought of it. I'm such a bad streamer.
You are. Not.
For 1 year, 3 weeks. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was about to check. Wait. Let's see how long I followed you for, though.
That's
Ooh.
actually wild. Like, I've been on set since August, and I told someone, I've known you for the last half a year. That's fucking disgusting.
Jesus. Yeah.
Like, I should not have been here for this long, but here we are.
You don't have a followage thing? Oh, you do. Never mind.
No, I do. My watch time is still broken.
Wait, I've
but
been
I have
following
follow-
you longer than you've been following me.
Wait.
Feel bad, I just found you all, I think, like, recently.
Yeah.
Wait, 1 year, 23 days versus 1 year, 3 weeks? No, wait.
I said it on
Wait.
purpose.
Wait a minute.
Why does yours say days and mine says weeks? Which one is
That's what I'm
fake?
confused by.
Which one is
I
fake?
Go bigger, like week increments. It goes bigger, but like also
I don't know.
stream elements. I need to have a word with you.
Oh, I'm using Streamlabs. Maybe that's why. For that.
What's up, Jared? Oh, you evaded that? What the fuck?
What? What did I evade? I didn't evade shit.
Oh, I just threw a red shell. I thought it was coming for you. Damn.
I can't evade anything if I'm not even. If I don't exist. Please stop perceiving me. Thank you.
Damn, ping pong. It's been a week. It feels like I've known you for longer, ping pong, because your name is ping pong.
No! What the fuck was that?
Oh, I just saw that happen.
Oh, to get first place? Bet. Definitely not. But thanks for the conditional follow, Broccoli. Appreciate.
Oh, Broccoli's one of my chatters.
Bro, they all leave us for him, bro.
What's up, Broccoli?
Nah, I'm just joking.
Hopefully, I don't eat shit this race. Probably will happen.
Broccoli's chill.
God damn it! With these fucking shells.
Bro, you should never eat shit, but that's just my opinion.
I have an addiction.
Oh.
Just can't stop eating shit.
A whole affliction. Just little pieces
Ow.
of shit stuck in my teeth.
This is where I get first place.
This is where I die.
Watch. Never mind.
That was short-lived.
Fuck this.
Oh, hey. No, you got a star? No. Stop.
This
Oh,
bullshit.
oh, I thought that was the last round. I stopped.
This is the last lap.
I thought that was.
me
Yeah,
too.
me too. I stopped driving.
Mother.
I stopped driving for a second, bro.
Get fucked, loser.
Oh my god. You're right in front of me though, so
We're both dumb. At least we were both dumb.
yeah. Okay.
Holy shit, that was good.
Yeah, boost me, baby. Let's boost each other. Oh, okay, just leave.
Yo,
How do
yo,
you get
yo,
a
yo, yo.
star?
Fuck, that's why.
Damn, I
Watch
got
this,
second.
though.
Good enough.
Let's go.
Watch this. Bye.
You fucking piece of shit. Oh my god. Oh
Let's
my
go.
god. Oh my god.
Oh, that
my
felt
god.
so
Get
good.
robbed. Get fucking
What?
robbed. Oh my
Oh.
god. I hope they take your capture card. Fuck you.
What
Wait.
happens?
This piece of shit. This fucking piece of shit. This
I red
piece
shelled
of
him.
Fucking shit.
Oh,
You monster. You absolute fucking monster.
I tried.
So I don't get that follow. Rip.
Why are two people? Oh, they're tied. This is white privilege. Why do the two first players? Why are they white?
I played the fifth.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Fair enough.
Yo, am I in first?
No. Yeah.
Wow. You're tied for first with Doc.
Oh god.
But Doctor
Fuck.
like lost the rounds, so he could type something in chat. So
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough. I'm probably gonna lose this.
No, have confidence.
I'm just being realistic.
Doc's about to slap my teeth out my asshole. Like that's what I'm preparing for right now.
You have
Same.
teeth in your asshole?
Yeah.
That's,
No, he's gonna knock him down my digestive tract, down all the way down there.
I want to get that checked out.
Come on, try to.
Damn, you stole my joke, bro.
Sorry.
Just like Jared steals my viewers. Bye, Jared.
Catch it. Catch it. Fuck!
You thought that green shell would hit me?
Maybe.
Wow.
hope.
Oh! Well, I just hit myself, so.
I crossed my little fingies.
I'm gonna wait till he pass me so I could red shell you.
Stop it.
Is that
That's hurt.
toxic?
Very toxic.
Then I'm gonna
Oh,
do
shit.
it.
Oh no 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 no
That
no!
went right by my face, whoever that was.
No, come on! I went in. Oh.
Oh fuck! I slipped that banana. It's over. GG.
Why'd you stop
oh my god.
moving? I got stuck in it. That's what she said. Yeah.
Hey, you need like a comedy like rim shot but sound effect.
I have it. I just.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have it as a channel reward too, but. You know.
Oh fuck.
You're so busy losing these races, you can't reach for that stream yet.
Exactly.
True.
And all my viewers are busy drooling over Triscuit's beautiful face that they can't redeem it.
I want my sweet, sweet salt. Wait, what the fuck was... I just heard something banging in my door. If it was a dog, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Just a random dog.
And cut everyone off.
I'm
The
gonna hit.
worst part is it's my dog, and it still counts as a random dog.
Oh, I hit you, Jared! Oh, bro, I accidentally hit you. I was trying to hit Doctor, and you're just so bad that you got hit.
Eat shit and choke. Eat shit until you choke.
What if I do?
God, you've accomplished your goal.
Who's trying to... Don't do that. Stop trying to hit me with fire. Bye! How did I get hit too? What? Oh! I just hit someone into the train and then I hit the train. Oh, this is the last round. I should be playing better.
Yo, I think I got first overall. I think.
You did if you win.
Oh, I got second, but the person who got first.
Breeze just saved his life out of fucking pure luck. What is up, that kid Mariah? Yeah? Yeah? What's up? What's up,
Yes.
you with Angel? How? Where the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? Wait, raid? A raid? Hang on.
Yo. Yo, Doctor's in my chat now. What's up? What's up?
Doctor is great. He's a real doctor.
Really?
No, he's not. He's like 18.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna take a pee break. I'll be back in like 1 minute if anyone asks where I am.
Alright, enjoy.
Hello there.
Hey. Thanks for the follow, Gamer for Life. I see you in the lobby. I don't know where you're from, but welcome. So the light's going crazy? Hooked on a feeling. Jimmy. Pink. Nice to meet you, Jimmy. Just kidding. You're from Jimmy's chat? Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to be playing with Jimmy. This is the first time I'm playing with him. Yeah. You haven't been placing too high, I've noticed. I think you might have done better than me. We'll see.
Am I deafened?
No, everyone's just ignoring it. Oh, welcome back, Jared.
I just wanted to make sure that, like, I wasn't crazy.
No, Jimmy went to go pee.
You went pee-pee?
Yeah, he went pee-pee.
Okay, good.
Maybe some poop. I pooped right before stream, and oh my god, it was so fast.
We love a turbo turd. Fucking just get it out of you.
Yeah, I forgot to clean, though. Anyway. I came late. Oh, okay. If Mario Party's open to join, I'll do that too, unless it's not, in which case I'm fine. Yeah, I'll ask him.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I've just met Gamer for Life. 4-2.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Watch. Look after that one. That's all I'll say. Watch out for that.
Yo, Pong.
Yeah.
Be careful, is all I'll say.
What?
Be careful. Be careful.
Wait, what? What's wrong with Gamer for Life?
Just be careful. Just be careful.
Fun fact: Jimmy hates 200cc in Rainbow Road. I'm his kryptonite.
I asked a 5-year-old if he wanted to play Jared, Jimmy, and he told me he wanted to watch Jimmy.
You're
Oh my god!
5-year-old demographic right now. Jimmy.
Wait.
Tell the 5-year-old I said thank you. That's so nice.
Foothold in that market.
Wait, are you saying Gamer for Life is 5? I'm confused.
No. One of my chatters wrote. One of my mods has a 5-year-old who like loves me, and now they're apparently saying they want to watch Jimmy.
Aww.
That's so cute.
I've been
flattered.
replaced.
Well, it's because you curse a lot. That's not good for 5-year-olds.
True.
Yeah.
All good, Lotus. Join whenever you're ready.
Yo,
So I would've
Lotus,
muted
thanks
myself.
for 100
Damn.
subs. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mute.
Fucking kidding me.
Bro, how am I in first? You guys suck.
I know.
Am I
Stop
playing against
reminding
bots? What is this? Sorry for reminding me.
Well, I am right behind you.
Not anymore. Oh, I got hit. Bro, instant
not
karma.
anymore.
Insta karma, bro.
No!
Yeah, not anymore.
You're kidding. Oh my god.
Okay, it's Fairy just got hit with the blue. Bro, I
Get
just
outta
keep getting
here.
hit. That was you? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I want to get a lightning bolt, suck my pussy, literally eat my nuts. Oh my fucking god, I hate this game.
I will. When are you inviting me over?
Every day of my life, where have you been?
Oh my.
Oh my
No,
god!
yeah.
God
Me and
damn,
Jimmy
I
are
can't
just
get anything.
getting hit by. Doctor hits me with a green shell. That's it. You're getting
Okay,
unmodded.
It's just because you deserve it. Don't worry.
He's getting unmodded.
5-year-old's loudly cheering you on, Jimmy. Aw, thank you so much, 5-year-old. I appreciate that.
Wow. The 5-year-old probably has a name.
Well, they're known as the 5-year-old, you know?
Oh, okay. Oh. Bye, Jared. Get hit by a fireball.
We fucking hit you.
Why do you sound like my ex?
You know, fucking fire in a video game.
Yeah, you always gotta add the in a video game.
Fuck you! Oh my god.
What are with all these lightning bolts? They're
I'm coming in 11th
stupid.
place.
Yo,
I'm
let's
coming in
go!
11th place.
I'm in the lightning bolt first place. Let's go! Woo! That was for you, 5-year-old. That was for you. Let's
Lightning
go!
bolts. I am jizzing fucking bolts of electricity. I hate this game.
I beat Jared, so
Fuck
I'm
this
good.
game.
Woo!
Fuck this game and fuck Elliot.
Oh my god, you suck. Double digits? Not even a gamer for life was double digits there.
Oh my god.
Gamer for life says, "Tell Jimmy eat shit. He got lucky. Lumfao."
5-year-old is dabbing. Aw. Thank you, thank you.
Toxic.
Barry says, "Got screwed over so hard at the end." Yeah, me too. Hashtag me too.
I definitely did not get any good luck. Let's see what I got as far as maps to pick. Let's go. One that no one does. If you choose
Rainbow Road.
Cheeseland, you might be a monster.
I don't even know what that is.
I'll choose random.
Oh, the second one? That one's okay.
Cheeseland's hard, but I like it.
You know what else is hard, but I like it?
What is that?
Well, I can't say there's a 5-year-old watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Use my imagination.
What's up, Angel? How you doing? Monkey.
Hello, Lotus.
Oh, Mount Wario? Let's get it.
Who,
Such a good map.
I love it.
I love it.
Honestly, any of the sprint maps, I'm typically like all about. I just like it.
So why are you
Yeah.
bad at them?
Oh!
You make me want to.
Are you okay there,
Oh my-
sir?
No!
You
That's
know,
100. Thank you, Night Potato. Thank you.
Why
So-
does it be okay when you make it hard?
what do I make hard?
It can be okay.
Sorry.
Also,
And also me. Going to against Keep Guys next time. No, Fairy, it's okay. I don't mind at all.
fucking red shit.
Oh my fucking god.
Thanks for the lurk, Angel.
Fucking please stop. Make it stop. I'm begging you. Stop it.
Enjoy God of War.
Oh, that's a good game.
Who's playing God of War? What?
Don't worry about it. You don't need to steal more viewers.
Monkey do very bad.
I'm
Call of
playing
Duty.
God of War next, actually, everybody. I'll see you.
Are you
next
actually?
week. Not actually.
Ah, okay. Because then I would have been like, I would have suggested that viewer to check you out.
I don't have a PlayStation 4, but I am trying to set one up.
Okay.
Oh my god, don't look through there. That was nasty.
Doc, I need you to get the fuck back. Dimmy, Doc. I
Oh,
meant to hit
damn.
Doc and you got right. It's unfortunate.
It's okay,
that it
it's
worked out
okay.
like that.
How did I? Bro, I'm getting so unlucky and I'm bad. Oh my god. I'm just getting hit by everything. Ah. This game is so toxic.
It really is, honestly.
It makes me fucking
Let's go!
I am. Oh my god, I am a biohazard barrel. I am literally a fucking thing outside of fucking Fukushima right now. I am so radioactive.
I stole that.
Oh my! I got hit twice. GG, it's over.
Baby. Third
Oh,
place,
come
that's
on.
all you
How
need.
does everyone behind me get rockets?
Lotus even beat me. Oh my fucking god.
That's how the game works, baby. You know
Anyway.
you like it.
Where's your first now, Jimmy? GG. That's what Gamer says. Oh, damn. Gamer got first. A true gamer.
Jizzle? Hey, do you know it's much easier to leave your house when you actually grab your car keys? I didn't. Tell me more fun facts.
The people I'm playing with, guys, is...
Oh, but do I have time to go fucking pee before the game starts?
this
Quick little
guy.
speed run.
Risking it. PP speed run.
PP speedrun. I think I spelled that right. Yeah, those are the two people I'm playing with. Oh, Pink, you got owned. I did. I did indeed. I'm mainly first, Gamer says. Is Gamer mainly first? Going to drove into that red shell. Yeah, I did drive into that red shell.
Ooh, Twisted Mansion.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Fairy. Probably not, because I asked him before and he had a set amount of people to play that game with. But I would suggest joining his Discord and then like telling him you're a streamer and stuff, and I'm sure he'll be down. You're really chill. In the future. Fairy. Ooh, I just got sent clips of Jimmy.
You don't have to watch them. You know, it's not important.
No, I'm definitely watching
You don't have to.
them. Yeah, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
Whoa, why are you naked in this one?
Fucking PP, what's happening?
Wrong clip. Wrong clip.
Wrong website, wrong website. Jimmy, should I hit you?
Nah. Actually, yeah. Nope.
Yeah, well.
I had a red shell. Little
yeah.
protection.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I wanted you to get prepared. Oh my god, everyone does lightning at the worst time for me. Like always.
Right
Well, you
now,
said something about the other God of War. Was it the other guy? I guess we both said something about it. Well, welcome to the chat.
I'm trying
How's
to
it
play
going?
God of War soon at some point. You know, when
It's
I
a
get
great game.
I played the first 15 minutes when a friend came over, and it seemed badass. And then, wait, how long has it been? 2 or 3 years? I don't even know.
Like 3 years, maybe even 4 at this point.
No idea.
He was trying to yell at Jared to not pass you that last race. Oh my god, thank you, 5-year-olds. You know, Jared might be stealing the viewers, but I got the 5-year-olds, so.
Let's go.
There's that.
Yo, you got that fucking toddler market. You got that
What?
YouTube Kids audience.
What?
on lock.
What the fuck? Not to be mean, but you have the face of the Grinch? Oh, thanks, I guess? What the fuck? Okay.
It's okay. I get worse compliments.
Asshole.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes people will say, you look like this guy, and then send me a picture of a guy that looks, well, doesn't look that good.
I call Pink a monkey, so it's okay, it's okay.
It's because I'm brown.
Jesus
I'm gonna make sure no one gets a sponsor here, ever in their life. No, it's not because I'm brown. It's just a thing on the channel.
Oh my god.
But also, Call of Duty Angel is pretty intense. So
Well, welcome to the chat. Oh, I'm gonna pass Jared. Let's go.
bye, gamer. Oh, what? That was the last
let's go.
round. I didn't know it was the
let's
last round. I would have hit
Oh my
gamer
God.
like 10 minutes ago. I had a red shell. Anyway.
Damn, Ping.
It's okay. Good job. Good job. Yeah, I've calmed down. You have the face of a
Overall,
human.
This is tragic. I'm sorry, 5-year-old. Wish I could have done better for you.
Dun, 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 dun. All right.
Oh, we still got a race.
Coins.
You guys can see
Oh,
this,
are you
right?
Are you stopping?
Are we
I
feeling
think
finish
I
off?
don't trust you. Yeah, I see. You stopped to try to green shell snipe me. Okay. And it still worked. It still worked.
That's
Monkey
actually
do good.
funny.
Monkey do
It's
very
okay, though.
good.
I'll do whatever you guys.
I have a mental state of a 5-year-old.
Oh yeah, he always says that.
Think about it. I mean, Welcome to my chat.
Oh my
I'm
god.
literally a fucking 6-year-old.
Thank you so much for that. Those
Where's my water
bits.
bottle?
Gamer for life just gave me like. Oh my god.
Found
Thank you
it.
so much.
Sorry, just reading chat. Lotus was calling you hot.
What? Lotus was calling Triscuit hot. I just realized I was muted. Oh. Jesus. Gamer just gave me bits and said you're better than Jimmy and Triscuit. That's so sweet. Thank you.
So sweet.
I'll take the bit. Gonna buy a whole. Well, I can't even buy a penny with it, but.
Lotus, what are you doing? Sorry to expose you.
Eat I am speed. This cup is a bit of an IL for me. It's okay, doctor. Listen. I don't know. It's okay.
And first place, let's go. Oh, no, we're good.
Bro, the game just started. Yeah.
That's true. Actually, yeah, you have that first place item, Doctor. Enjoy yourself with that.
Jimmy, should I try to hit you?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a shot.
No, when you get rid of your green shell, I mean.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay.
Unless you like really. Oh my god!
Yo, what?
What the fuck was that?
Oh my god! Someone clip that. What?
Oh my god! What the
That made
shit?
no sense. That made no sense.
God damn, I got those fireballs off, and that was good.
Yeah, you hit me with one. Oh, someone stole my mushroom, and I went into the water.
With that fucking boo ball, baby. Give me your mushroom.
I just hit gamer. Let's go!
Oi! Thank you
Oh
for the bit,
my
Angel. I appreciate. Love you too, butthole. Oh, you ain't sweet.
Angel, thank you so much for the 1,000 subs. That's so sweet of
The 1,000 subs. Yo, they were holding out on me. Holy shit.
you. Yeah, they didn't want to give to Ukraine.
Damn.
Imagine you get like this big YouTuber that or like streamer that comes in and gives you 1,000 subs. Would you still give it to Ukraine?
I mean, unless he specifies, like, you know, this has to go to the Russian Federation. I'm just like, all right, homie. You probably just donate this yourself. Then I'm gonna keep my hands clean of this.
No!
Ah, you suck. You suck. You went into my green shell.
Izzy, get out of my fucking way!
Ow!
Lotus.
Playing fucking Among Us right now. I want to die.
How
Oh
many
my
lightnings
God.
are there? Like the past like 5 games, there's like 30. Like, chill, Ping. Stop getting mad. Just a game.
Yo, second place. Let's go. No, fuck. Oh! Last wow, Doctor.
Nice, I suck.
Right
I stay on
behind
top.
you.
I suck too, it's okay.
God damn.
Damn, Gamer is actually like good competition for Doctor. Gamer's mad good.
Don't stroke his ego.
Okay, I'm sorry. Gamer sucks. I have the mental state of a 94-year-old who fought 2 wars and lost 4. What's the other guy's Twitch? Not Triscuit? Jimmy. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Lightning happens because he has easy. Come on. Thanks for the lurk, Angel. I don't mind not zenning for Mario
Fifth
Kart.
place, I guess that's good.
I think it's good content, Fairy, but thanks.
The middle.
Gamer says, Jimmy, you made my ego high because you kind of suck.
What was that, Jimmy?
Oh, I just said something muted.
All right.
Oh my god. Gamer says, Jimmy, you made my ego high because you kind of suck.
I just, God, I got nothing. You do 200 CC? No. Quick and simple for you right there.
You got me there,
sweetie.
Fairy.
No.
Can I play with you? Of course.
Anybody who wants to play, fucking, yeah, I don't know whose chat that was in, but yeah, join in whenever. We got open spots.
Yeah. Oh, you want to play with me? Yeah. If you give me a sub, you could join. Yeah. I'm just joking,
If you
guys.
give me 5 subs, maybe I'll let you into this lobby.
20 subs, and I'll give it a consideration.
I'll try and squeeze you in.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting. A gamer is getting ads. Sorry, gamer.
Ha, imagine living the unsubbed life. Couldn't be me.
Same.
Yeah.
Should I tell the secret?
Well, what's the secret?
Well, if I say it, it's not a secret anymore.
Well, just tell us. Between us, you know?
I don't know. It's not good for us. It's good for the viewers. It gives them power over us.
Okay.
I don't know if I should say it.
I mean, you can tell me anything, you know?
Okay. I had sex with my mom when I was 14.
Yo!
Was that homie?
I'm joking. I was joking because he said you can tell me anything, so I just wanted to see what he would say. I really hope my mom wasn't watching right there.
Oh my god.
I'm literally linking her your fucking YouTube channel after this.
She actually watches me sometimes, which is like goddamn terrible. Oh. Especially on Twitch.
My mom started with that. She was like, "Oh, I saw your YouTube covers. I saw your song covers. They're so good." And then I was like, "What else did you see?" And she's like, "I saw that bang video. I was a little confused."
That's funny.
I was like, "Okay, mom, please don't look anything else up."
Yeah, my mom was watching me on Twitch and like she'll tell me, "Oh, I saw you doing like the 24-hour stream." And I was like, "Why were you watching?" And she's like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have watched it." Because sometimes I say some, you know, questionable
Some
things.
sussy shit.
Sussy baka, yeah.
Just a little sussy baka.
Oh, Jared, come here. I have a star for you.
Fuck off. I got nothing for you. I got no love.
All right.
My mom's just like, why would you watch other people play video games when you can do it yourself? You know?
Oh, did I get you? Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Wait, why isn't he reacting?
Dumb lord, that's why.
Oh shit, I mean, it's over.
Let me see if I could read chat. Real speed.
Fucking suck. So fucking hard. Oh my god.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. It's 2022. Oh, I keep getting hit. Oh, doctor, I'm gonna hit you
No,
with a red
doctor,
shell.
how many fucking red shells
It's
you
okay,
got?
I hit him with one.
Let's go.
Bye! Ah! I got hit by a red shell.
Shit, you barely
3 people just passed me.
fucking slapped you with it, and I even reaped the benefit.
You suck, Jared. You suck.
you.
I love you.
Love you, Elliot.
Oh my god.
Is he gonna tell us what ad block is? Yeah, I was gonna say the real secret was Twitch Turbo. For like $7 a month, you could just get Twitch with no ads on any channel.
Is that a...
Yeah.
Damn it.
Most people don't know about that, but like it's better than subbing to someone, you know?
Wait, actually though?
Yeah, I got it.
You're a dick shit.
That's why I didn't want to say it, but like, hey, it's the truth, you know?
How do I unpromote something?
You could just block me on every platform. Should be good. Karma, pretty much. I get 5 subs and I'm in the race. That sounds legit. No, you could. You're in the race.
Instrument I hear.
What do you mean? You're able to join the race no matter what. Oh, you're making a joke.
so?
I'm such an idiot. Tell
Might
Jimmy
just ring my
second place is
door.
first place loser.
Sorry.
Did you ban Gamer? Because Gamer is telling me things to tell you. And I'm very confused.
Hold on.
Wait, me or?
No.
Oh,
No. Me? For some reason, he can't type in the chat without donations, and I don't know. I just don't know why. So, like, you know,
That sounds hilarious.
I genuinely don't know.
hilarious, dude.
Right? It's like, well, I don't know. For some reason, it says sub only chat, but like, I don't know. He can't chat in my channel.
The dude's legit just going broke, like being like, "Fuck you, Jimmy. What's happening? Oh my god!" And I'm like, you know, whatever.
Oh my god, I'm flying so high. Yeah,
But
he
I
said.
genuinely don't know.
He said, "Tell Jimmy. Tell Jimmy. Second place is first place loser." What? I don't know.
Okay.
I was first and I just crashed because I was reading that. So. Barry says, "I'm the only Brit versus all these Americans." True. Feels
It's
bad,
okay.
man.
You gotta rep your set. You gotta hold it down for the whole colony.
What the fuck was that?
The whole colony? Is
Yeah,
that-
we went from being the colony to now they are the colony.
I like that. Bye, Nuff.
From the
Bye,
bottom, now
Angel.
we're here.
Yo, you should become a rapper. That was godlike.
Oh yeah.
Starting.
I think my stage name is gonna be Drake.
Huh.
It just has a ring to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't think anyone's done that before, too.
No, I think I'm also gonna be on Degrassi as a paralyzed person.
Jimmy.
Let's go.
I ran into it. I ran into it. What's
His
up,
name
Dino?
was Jimmy on the show. I thought that was the joke you were making.
Oh, no. It's
Wait,
a
was
double.
it actually?
It actually was.
Oh my god.
Fucking Jimmy the paralyzed kid played by Aubrey Graham.
It's a double entendre.
I never watched that show.
Me neither. I only looked up Wikipedia pages.
Oh, okay.
Kind of weird.
This is how I fell asleep as a child. Shut the fuck up.
That's even weirder.
Shut the fuck up, I know!
I'm sorry.
ADHD's weird.
Now I feel bad.
You should.
You
I fell
actually
asleep-
are you diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes, I
Oh shit.
am. You're able.
So
Dig it.
the weather is nice outside. It's nice weather. Oh my god. Oh
Piece of
ah.
shit. Oh my god, yo. Elliot's a bigot and he's the reason I just lost that race.
Damn.
Cancel him.
Lotus says in my chat, Jared has ADHD. That makes so much more sense.
Fuck, didn't pick that up. Bro, you didn't watch my stream and pick that up?
We have two different types of laughs here. I don't know what yours is, Jared, but it's something.
What?
Your laugh. It's like it's very. Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to die. Stop it.
I'm sorry. Don't take it seriously. Then it makes me feel like an asshole. You're supposed to just be like, ah, good one.
No, I've heard that before. Someone's like, your laugh sounds like fake when you do it. And I'm just like, no, it's seriously the most guttural laugh you're gonna get from me.
It doesn't
Where
sound
it's just like,
fake.
it breaks
but...
out. It sounds like Ash Ketchum.
At least you don't have that like Jimmy Fallon laugh, you know.
Oh my god, that's the worst.
Yeah.
with the head going back. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just can't stand him.
I hate
Don't-
the fact that every fucking late night show host is like a James or a Jimmy.
That is true. Except Conan, but he's done.
True. The key
Rainbow
to being a
Roads.
good late
Oh.
night host is just like don't be a Jimmy, honestly.
I forgot to go Rainbow Roads. My
Actually?
bad.
For real though.
I've been doing time
Craig
trials.
Ferguson, just by not being a Jimmy, had such an advantage.
Oh
That
yeah.
would be Scottish.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you want to be a late night host, you have a bigger chance if you're a Jimmy, no? Excuse me.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Bro, why would you
I gotta
say
know my
that?
place.
Oh, okay. Never
You know
mind.
what? I'd be self-aware, I guess. You know, that maybe that counts for
Good
something.
Jimmy on late night
Aw, thank you, thank you.
Bye, gamer. Oh,
generation. You get Jimmy Fallon too, and he's actually funny.
Yeah.
just ran into a wall.
I'll just change my name to Jimmy Fallon too.
No joke, you would probably get a lot of media attention and become big.
Sure.
Yo,
Be like-
actually.
dude, be like the whole meme of the dude who started Dumb Starbucks however many years ago, where it was just like, yeah, it's like a full operating coffee shop, and it's like called Starbucks, but it's dumb, so it's a parody.
I forgot about that. Also, sorry for
Yeah.
green shelling you.
Oh, is that a thing?
There was a whole. I forget the specific comedian, but he was like a character actor you see on a bunch of like sketch shows. And he
How
was
did I
like,
get
you
a-
know, fuck it. Let's take parody to the corporate world.
That's funny.
That was pretty good. Until I think it got shut down because like health code violations.
I thought you were gonna say until he got shot, and I was like, oh, okay.
Starbucks CEO is like, you think you're gonna take my green matcha market? Fuck you. Bullet to the head.
Doctor trying to bomb me. Oh my god.
It's like the Russian government Starbucks. You get suicided with 2 bullets to the back of the head.
Oh, I thought
Wrong
you.
move, doctor. Let's go.
I am so far back it hurts.
Same.
I'm kind of
Bye,
vibing in
fairy.
first.
Angel stole my
Who
double.
is-
I
someone
wanna
stole
fucking
my-
cry.
Someone stole my double mushrooms also. What the hell?
No!
Piece of shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
Oh, I
my
see
god!
Jimmy.
My vein. My veins
Jimmy!
can't handle the
Bye,
pressure.
Jimmy! Bye! What the hell?
Yes!
What the hell? I suck ass! Oh my god! I'm actually trash.
I could have
actu-
actually had.
Can
it
we go to
last-
Superstars or whatever? I don't want to play. I don't want to play this game anymore.
Monster.
This game is so dumb, bro. Ooh, Sammy's on Smash Bros. Oh my god.
Oh, this fucking game. Yo, honestly, might need to make this into a YouTube video. This is good content.
Cool.
Honestly, go for it. If I've said anything funny, you have my permission. If I've said anything unfunny, I'll fucking sue you.
Okay.
He sued a lot of people.
I will sue it.
Fuck up.
I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up.
What is it? It hurts you so much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the courtroom stream.
Courtroom?
Oh, talk about drama.
Gotta go, but Jimmy sucks. Doctor can help you. See you, gamer. Thank you for the cheer again. Thank you for the bit. I appreciate it. Have a great
Gotta go. Gotta go
Yeah.
harass Jimmy now, right?
Jimmy's pretty cool, I think, but okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. But if you give me more bits, I might change my idea. In my mind, anyways. Imagine. Oh!
Oh, I actually suck. Oh my god.
He Yo, he cheered 5 bits. Let's go! Yeah, Jimmy sucks, bro.
Bits to prove it.
Yeah, if you don't cheer 500 bits at least, then I don't know. Jimmy's still kind of cool.
You know what? If I get cheered 100 bits, I'm desperate. I'll just like resort to self-deprecating humor. I'll just admit I suck constantly.
You mean me without any financial obligation?
If you subscribe to my YouTube and watch all my content for the next few years and tell all your family about it, then, you know, I think Jimmy's kind of weird, yeah. Honestly, though, I would rather people watch...
No.
Oh, Dinell's here. I'd rather people watch my YouTube than, like, give me money on Twitch. I mean, both would be nice, but, like, you know.
Please share my videos. Like, that's literally my main thing. Just show them to other people.
Yeah.
Everyone in chat, go sub to both Upset Triscuit and Pigpot Master's YouTube, by the way.
Yeah, and my OnlyFans, too, if you want.
Yeah.
I have no OnlyFans. All my content is free. It's just me being stupid, please.
You have to pay a premium for my OnlyFans because my stepsister is in it, so...
I fucking hate you so much.
Why?
For no reason at all.
I feel like it could have been worse. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, yeah, my grandma's in it or something.
No, my grandma's
Honestly?
dead.
Oh god.
Me too. But
Why are
that
you
just
laughing that she's dead? Jesus.
Had it
But
coming.
my other grandma's alive.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, she's in my OnlyFans.
Your manager or like
Are you?
co-star?
I like Nick Saban for that bomb, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Hey, thanks for the bit, gamer. Damn, I feel like I'm getting showered at a. I feel like I'm What is it?
RB, be right back. All right.
I
see
feel
you
like I'm on the
today.
pole right now, and gamers just throwing dollar bills at me. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Big as my daddy, says someone in chat.
Wow, Jimmy, you have no heart, asshole. Whoa. That makes you laugh?
Sorry.
No, why are you sorry? It's not. Oh, that was the last round? Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
I won't lie. Seeing you're an asshole and then cheer one right after is pretty fucking funny. That's hilarious.
Jimmy, you have no heart, asshole. 1 bit. That's a bot, not me. Discord. Oh, you're joining my
Someone
Discord.
calls you a fucking piece of shit and then throws a handful of glitter at you. Like, that's what that is.
Yes, yeah, that is actually funny. Yeah.
Oh, you meant to say Ping is my daddy. Okay, I should have put that together. I'm dumb as shit.
Wait, who said that?
Call of Duty God meow.
Oh, I don't care if he said that. Okay. No, he says that all the time, and he's like, he's at the age where I could be his legal daddy. So,
Oh.
yeah, he's like 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
Nah, he's a teenager. He's a teenager. Jimmy lost to my bot. Damn.
Sorry. I'm trash. What can I say?
Whose character is the Jewish guy with the green hair? Almeo. Never mind. It's a random. It's okay, I'm Jewish. I could say that. That's how that works, right?
I just have to fucking pull my shirt and awkwardly cough. That's what I have to do.
I mean, I don't know. It's bro, it's a joke. It's a joke, you know. It's jokes. Yo, Jimmy, do you play the recorder?
Once in 3rd grade.
Can you play this?
Why?
Do you know that song?
That slapped. I can shred it on guitar for you if you're interested.
Oh, my guitar. You know, I picked up my guitar yesterday, and oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry. I picked up my guitar, and I got a splinter in my finger.
Really?
Yeah. Doctor, you leaving? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Willis is leaving too.
Maybe we go to
You got a fucking splinter from your guitar?
Yeah, I got a splinter, and then I was like, you know what? Fine, and I smashed it on the ground.
I've gotten multiple finger infections from like playing guitar. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, you
I've been
said
playing
what?
I got like multiple finger infections, but like I've been playing for 5 years. It's kind of bound to happen if you play like
Are
every
you trying
day.
to show
Never
off?
had that
Are you trying
happen.
to show? Oh, I've been playing for 5 years. If you play
Sorry,
every
sorry.
day. Like, come on, bro.
Well, I've been playing fucking. I don't even know.
I've been
how...
playing since I was a teenager. Okay, so I've been playing 3 years actually.
When the fuck did I start?
Nah.
I started
When
when
did
I
I
was like
start?
10. I stopped for a minute and then I restarted in high school. It's been like 8 years. I've never had a. I bit my fucking fingernails and that was why I got a finger infection. But
Oh, I
never
started when I
like,
was 14.
straight up
13.
guitar.
Well,
Oh
like,
my
I don't
god,
change
I've been
my-
playing guitar for over 10 years.
Yo,
Jesus. Sorry, go ahead.
Yo, decade.
if you like don't change your strings constantly though, they get dirty, and that's what I did because like I don't change my strings ever, and it's probably why that happened.
I'm a filthy little
Yeah.
boy. I'm.
You guys can bet channel points to see if I get top 5 or not. Nice prediction. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know, Fairy. Why do I have I have 2 recorders, actually. Am I still muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay. Oh.
Jared, have you ever been like in a band? I can definitely picture you being like a lead singer, rhythm guitarist.
Never in my life, although that is typically my ideal role, because I can't play lead guitar for shit.
Damn.
How
My
good are you
fingering
guys?
abilities are strictly limited to the bedroom. I got nothing as far as guitar.
At least you have something.
That's all I got. There's nothing anybody else can enjoy, but you know, one person at a time. Let's fucking go.
I just
Lol.
hit myself with my own green shell. I hate this game.
I hate this game too.
Welcome to my life.
You hate
Oh
your
my god.
Get a double dose of it so I can maybe come in 3rd place this time.
Ow! Who green shelled? That was beautiful, actually.
I'm vibing in
I
8.
think that was fairy. Oh my angel!
mind, 7.
I think in 3rd?
I'm not vibing anywhere because I'm in 10th. Oh,
No, that's vibe.
God.
That vibe is fuck.
Okay, I'm vibing in 10th.
Is Nuff one of our chatters? Or
Yeah,
is
that's fairy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I feel bad then because I absolutely just clapped them with that red shell. I apologize.
No, he hit me with a green shell. It's okay.
No, that's your grudge to hold. I have nothing against them. You
Yeah, that's a good
bitter
point.
by yourself.
Good point. You always make them good points.
Fuck!
man. Ah!
No, I don't. I never make a good point in my
Yeah,
life.
you do.
Make good points all the time, Jared.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all the time, but you definitely do.
Never. Never ever. I'm a bad take machine.
No, you're not. You're too hard on yourself.
What's your hottest take, Jared?
Stop.
That's not gonna be Twitch friendly.
Oh, okay.
No, stop.
Nah.
I'll bring all of us down right now.
Oh, that was the last round. I'm having so much fun
Fucking
with you
hold
guys.
hands, brothers. We're all going in.
I mean, if it's not Twitch TOS, it's fine, in my opinion. But it is a different vibe for sure when you're talking about certain things, you know?
True, true.
Like talking about how my stepsis cheated on me with Jared. Everyone just goes over to him. I don't know what to do anymore.
First your viewers, now your stepsis. That's rough.
She was my only viewer, yeah.
What's happening?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just talking about stuff.
I just...
We're just talking about Al Qaeda and the Taliban and how, you know, Israel, Palestine, Bangladesh, India, all the really spicy stuff. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll get more drunk and I'll talk. Stop. I will do it. Don't fucking.
I mean, I don't care, but
I don't care either.
yeah, but it is a different vibe. We had a prediction to see if I was gonna be top 5, and I got 6th place.
So you're gonna fudge the results, is what I'm hearing, and you totally made it into top 5, right?
Well, I want to be like my ex-president, bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother!
Hell yeah!
Yo, shout out to TFG.
What?
I hate that that's the way people refer to him.
Who's
the former guy.
Oh wait, really? What is he, like Voldemort?
It's so fucking cringy. It really, like, I'm like, this is why Democrats lose every time.
That's funny.
It just hurts to vote for you. Fucking cringe lords.
I'm not gonna lie though, it would be pretty cool if I had a reputation that was so crazy that like people were like, PPM, damn, that guy's crazy.
You'd be like, oh, this last dude, you're so iconic. I was like, you're feeding into it.
It's like when, well, maybe I shouldn't go there. Never mind.
I couldn't last having those people in my chat. It'd be funny for a little bit, but I couldn't do it.
What?
Yeah, what?
No, just like feeding into it. Do you mean like having like Trump supporters in your chat and shit?
Oh, I don't care about
Right.
that.
I could not do that.
I don't care.
I straight up could. I had one dude just be like, I asked him what his pronouns were one day, and he was just, his instant response was like, I don't need that SJW bullshit. And I was like, all right, well, that's a
Yeah.
vibe to take in my fucking chat for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't mind if people are Trump supporters in my chat. I don't care. But that's just me personally.
It's usually enough of an issue where it's like, I feel like it bleeds through enough. Like, I'm probably not in that line where it's like,
That was the last round thing again.
yeah, it was not a good last lap at all.
I
It
never
was
I never
fucking
pay attention
terrible
when
for
it's the
me,
last
too.
one. Yeah. Not like
I was
I don't
covering mid.
I don't care what people say in my chat as long as, well, it's not Twitch TOS or it's like if someone is being an asshole to another person, like that's the only thing I really care about. Like
Maybe I'm being too
If
mean.
them
Maybe if
preventing whatever perspective, then sure. As long as it's not like, a fucking hateful, bigoted one, then
That-
you don't get banned.
yeah, true. As long as you're nice, really. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as you're a respectful chatter.
Otherwise,
I think I think it depends on the streamer. Like, don't get me wrong. Like if a streamer doesn't want a certain type of viewer, I don't hold that against them because, I mean, you obviously want to foster a certain type of community.
True.
And I try to like present myself in, well, I try to be authentic, but like I try to like when someone is being too much, I like try to tell them that. But generally things are pretty chill in my chat. But I guess that's because I average 2 viewers. No, I'm just joking. But, but like we're pretty small right now, you know? We don't need to deal with too much in terms of that, hopefully.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Shit.
Okay, I got my one shroom and my one. I'm not gonna say what because I don't want to spoil it for you guys.
Ooh.
Uh,
Worry, fuck me.
Okay.
That wasn't for you. That was for nobody. That was shut up.
For Danny.
5-year-old's so hyped that I got first place last round. I love to hear that.
I fucking hate to hear that. 5-year-old no longer in my camp. I quit.
Oh, can I hit Jared with the fire? No, I can't. Damn.
You almost hit me.
world went from cheering my stream starting the other week to being like, this piece of shit's cheating. He's literally, he's fucking, he's bagging. This is nonsense.
I suck at this game. Oh my god, we gotta go to Mario Party soon. I can't.
Oh yeah, no. We're on that fucking vibe. I feel you.
Yeah. Dinel says, how did I get blue shell? Oh, he got blue shell last game. Sorry.
I've now been playing long enough to where I just suck. I don't know if y'all have that, but if I play this game for too long, it's just GG's.
Yeah, no,
I'm just terrible.
Once you wasted all your best plays, it's like this. You're just hanging yourself out to dry.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not gonna lie, this past few games, because I'm so concentrated on the discussion, I don't realize that it's the last round, and then I just don't use my stuff.
Sure, I was so focused on the last discussion, I wasn't paying attention to the race at all.
Same. My power-ups have been fucking neglected the last few races.
We're all really good at making excuses, too.
Yeah, that's true, that's
We're
true.
just so good at making content.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not last. I'll take it.
Social justice. Wait, what's SJW? Social justice warrior? Yes. Wait, who said SJW?
You said
I say it?
SJW. You don't even know what you're saying, bro?
No, because I'm pretty fucking cross at this point. I'm not gonna lie.
Does that make your memory go down?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yo, is this gonna be the final race?
I believe so. If I counted correctly, I think this is the final race.
Is it really, do you know? Lagging in last place is easier for getting top? Oh, like to get rocket and stuff?
No one knew what you mean.
It's okay, it's okay.
Whoopsie.
I muted. I don't know what you said. Sorry.
I guess that's a bang right there.
That's a bang?
We're going out with a bang, Rainbow Road.
Oh. Top 7 prediction in my chat. Yes. Will I be top
Probably.
7? Go ahead. What?
I'm probably gonna get last. I hate every Rainbow Road. I'm so fucking bad.
This Rainbow Road is I don't know if this is the worst or the one that's completely flat.
The one that's like flat bugs me. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it had rounded corners, I feel like I would like it better. But yeah, it being a 2D technically sort of map, I hate.
Oh my fucking
gonna
god!
die,
I
I'm
went
gonna
off
die, I'm
the
gonna-
edge. Oh my god!
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm a genius. Oh, I'm so lucky. I see Doctor.
I'm in 10th. It's oh my god! I can't wait to play Mario Party. This is terrible.
No.
Oh, let's get it, brother. Let's fucking get it. Stop breaking my shells, you cocks.
Jared, did you hit me?
Maybe stop it.
And I'm still ahead of you? Kind of sad. Okay. Oh, sorry. I make a lot of moan sounds without trying to.
It's okay. It's all the it's kind of like instinct from the OnlyFans, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Memory.
Sometimes I think I'm
You know
like,
that good content.
yeah. Sometimes I think I'm streaming for OnlyFans, and then I start stripping, and then one of the mods raids someone, so that
Say you're streaming.
yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I know.
Stepsis,
Take the other sleeve off.
Yeah, and then my stepsis comes. Triscuit, have you seen my? That was the last round.
Stepmother, turn off the camera.
You've seen my stepsis, right? Triscuit, Jared. I think he's seen her.
Oh, you actually have a
I
stepsis?
absolutely have the.
Yeah. I was stepsis. Of course I do, Doctor. Let's go.
All right, GG's everyone, GG's.
GG's.
Let's see what place I came at. How did I get second overall? I fucking sucked. What?
Me and Jared were
I'm
distracted.
just outside of it again. I'm gonna fucking delete my channel.
Do it, no balls.
Stop it. Stop it.
Clip
Stop
it, clip it, clip it, guys.
Stop it.
And then visit twitch.tv/ I am Jimmy.
You made me do it. We're doing Mario Party now.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do Mario Party.
Sorry, guys.
Mario
Bye
Party
bye.
my stream.
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat. Well, I mean, don't leave, but bye, Mario Kart. I've seen
Oh
your
my
step
God.
ladder. Lol. What's up, Dalton? How you doing? How you doing?
Putting in my cartridge now.
Bye, Janelle.
Everyone, don't forget to change your stream info, by the way.
You're already on it.
I'm a pro streamer. I didn't forget. But thanks. I guess.
I'll forget occasionally. I'm just dumb.
Oh no, I do too.
Superstar.
I do too.
Not playing with viewers, because fuck you losers. You don't deserve to be in here. Is there a charity tag? There is!
Wow. Trying to take advantage of. There's a Jewish tag. I'm gonna put that. That was kind of cool.
Oh, fucking shot, dude.
What? We're a minority, okay, sir?
Fuck it, I gotta get it.
Are we not? Are we? Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. How long was the longest you ever held in your pee? I've had that for a couple of days. No one's question of the date it. 9 months. Sheesh. Wow, that's quite a long time.
I'll be back in like 1 minute. I'm
Yo,
probably
Jimmy,
just going to go to drink. But what's up?
Go for it.
Never mind.
Oh, okay. I'll be back. I want to run one ad break.
All right.
Holy shit, that was awesome.
What?
The fucking
The Jewish-
Jared making use of the fucking blank, and then wait, Jewish people's a category?
Yeah, I have Jewish as a category now. I put it.
That was so fucking funny.
Why? Are you saying Jews are funny? Oh, thank you.
The timing was just so perfect there. The wow, you're gonna use charity to wait, Jews?
Well, because that's what I saw it. It popped. It popped up. I didn't even type anything. It popped up. I swear to God.
Pop up for you?
It literally just popped up for me.
That's fucking yo. Twitch is racist.
You think Twitch has like is looking at the camera and looks at the size of the nose and like? I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't even have that big of a nose. My cousins do though. Some of them.
I have literally nothing to contribute to this conversation.
Bro, don't worry. Jews are affluent. You can't say anything bad about them. You'll be fine.
Isn't that part of?
Yeah, it is. bro. I'm sorry. I'll stop making it awkward. I'll stop.
I'm gonna stop right there.
I'm sorry. I don't care. Like if you say stuff like I don't care. But I like obviously, you know.
No, you don't. The internet,
Some people
however,
care.
absolutely does.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I typically don't. You know, you hear me fucking off the cuff. I don't care.
Yeah, off stream, this guy says the N-word. He says,
Yeah, just popping it nonstop. Just like, God, I gotta let him know.
yeah. And I'm like, bro, I'm not like I'm Jewish. Why are you saying the N-word to me? And you know. But...
I'm not. I'm from the city. I'm not black. Like it's not.
Whoa.
What did I just come back to?
Whoa, that. You're a bit
giving
too
me
drunk
the,
there, sir.
The pass.
What?
Okay.
I can't give you the pass.
Wait, no joke. Why am I at Mario Party level 5 right now?
Yeah, let's go.
I just leveled up after logging in. Wait, inside.
I'm going until the sun.
Woody Wood.
You going until the sun comes up? Let's go, fairy. Since I'm using projector, nice. 69 years. One of my March Madness books actually has the N-word in it. Hard R. That's pretty crazy. But like sports, people say the N-word more, I'm guessing.
Record it. Like, do you care if I edit this into a video?
I don't give a fuck.
Alright, cool.
I prefer
Nothing-
if you
nothing-
did.
nothing, you know, I won't say anything too sussy, but
I prefer if you did. Are you kidding me?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Exposure.
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna do a little intro right now, and I'll be back in like 1 minute then.
Oh,
Just, you
okay.
know, video. Alright, 1 sec.
Can you believe this guy using
Up,
us
everybody,
for
get your
content?
boy Jimmy out here.
What's up, guys?
Wait, he's not that high pitched. Probably has a deeper voice than me.
Pong Masters, aka Elliot.
Oh my god, you sound like my stepsis. Keep going.
I fucking wanna die in a video game.
I'm gonna elaborate in a video game.
I only ever operate.
Damn,
inside of a
Ping Pong,
video
that's
game.
crazy.
I've never existed outside of one.
Same. I need like touch grass or something.
I need to program some grass to touch.
I need to play the game that's called Grass. Yo, Actually,
Dot
someone
IO.
should actually make that. I just thought of that. What the hell?
Why don't you make it?
Nah.
That too much work?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Am I joining a room or creating a room?
I am starting one right now.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
It just said start a friend room. I haven't gotten like an invite friends option. I don't know if you can just join, but yeah.
I think you could just join.
You're
We'll
laughing
see,
at
I
you.
guess.
Actually, don't answer my question. I don't think I want to know what I missed when I was gone. Where the fuck? Yeah, you probably don't. Discord? Hop in the Discord, homie.
Wait, are we playing with the fourth person?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so. I think
thank
it's
God. I was just joking. Okay.
Oh, we might need a room ID, I think.
I'm one it? What does one it mean?
Hey, I've been waiting for you. Oh my god, I gotta create a room. Friends only, no passcode.
Oh, okay.
How many people will play on this system? Just one. Just me. Get in here, bitches.
On my way.
You're not looking for a fourth,
Oh
right,
my god.
Jared?
Say what?
You're not looking for a fourth, right? I'm
I'm
just
not
trying
looking
to make
for
sure.
a fourth. Do we have a fourth?
One of my viewers is sounding desperate, but Fairy is asking. Well, he's saying he's down if you guys would be okay with it.
Fourth, I'm still down for it. Great, I sound desperate. I mean, if you, all I have is just don't be weird. That's literally it. Just don't be weird.
Same.
Don't be weirder than me. I mean, I know Fairy. I've talked to him on Discord. He's pretty chill.
If you talk to them and they're chill, then sure, I'm fine with it. It's just I don't want fucking weirdos who I don't know who are gonna come in and dropping some weird fucking.
No.
racist shit.
I'm
Same.
weirder than Fairy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No, and just drop them a Discord link, or if they want to hop in the Discord, and I can drag them in through waiting room if they want to join in.
But he's British, so do we really want him to join in?
Just kidding. You've reverted all of my progress in the last 20 seconds.
Let's
Literally, you're a
go.
big country.
Exactly. Oh, he found your Discord. Okay, cool.
Oh god, I have to ban him from that now too. Jesus Christ. No, welcome in.
What's that, Dalton?
Welcome in. Welcome in, Fairy. Now, wait, what the fuck? You got someone directly after you who I don't even recognize the name. Master Turtle, welcome into the Discord. I don't know if you
Hey.
followed my channel, but hi, I guess.
Discord's popping off.
Discord popping off. Wish the channel popped off.
You guys could vote to see. You could put channel points on whether I'll win or not. By the way, guys.
Oh, you British people, fucking really, Angel.
Fairy is 12 years old though. Is that okay?
I'm no age, dog.
I'm just joking. He's 21.
Okay, I don't.
Okay.
He's not even 21. He's 23.
I
Oh.
I think.
good enough, I guess. Is he joining, or does he have you added as a friend, or what?
Yeah. He should. Oh my god, I'm getting so many friend. Oh no, that's friend list. Never mind. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and then realized. No. Thanks for the open lobby in Mario Kart. Has so much fun like always. Thank you, Angel. Hope you had a good.
Somebody in this chat is 12 though. You're pretty young, right, Dalton? I mean, we have a mix of people here, age ranges. Y'all better watch your hands. I'm in the Discord. Was waiting to be dragged in. Oh, okay.
Good way to phrase it.
He was waiting to be dragged into the call.
Is he?
Yeah.
There's a waiting room. I don't see. him.
Join the. Oh, he might not have your. For the game, he might not have you added. Maybe he can't join the
Able
room.
to just join through or who?
I don't know.
Well, they're in my chat, right? They would have added
Yeah.
me. Yeah, it was fucking
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm 12 and I look at
on
hentai.
that, you should be able to join through the lobby. And
Ping pong's
also
like, yeah.
exclamation Discord, you should be able to join in through that.
I added Ping. Yeah. I don't know if adding me will be enough, to be honest.
Add triscuit or don't, I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't know if people are able to join through
Yeah.
friends of the lobby on this, or if it has to be specifically through the host.
I would join Triscuit, and then after the game, you could like unfriend him and block him and stuff.
Yeah, unfollow me and everything off of Twitch. Just block me. Honestly, report me probably too, because I probably said some bad stuff according to Nintendo.
If
So,
anything,
yeah.
I'm the one that should be reported. For what I'm.
Jared gets
saying.
kicked off like Twitch for like his million uses of cracker.
Yo,
Bag
Jimmy
alert,
gets
major
banned
bag
off of
alert.
Twitch for his one use of cracker.
What's up, pigeons? How you doing? Remember when I thought you were a troll?
Fucking done. You're done, sweetie. Sit down.
I have to refer to as a C word from now on.
Oh my god, dude. The fact that it's like they banned the C word and you have to ask how many words like before cracker you think of is insane.
True.
Did they add me? I don't think I got a friend request.
I'm looking right now and you need Jared. Okay. So, yeah, you need to add... Sorry. You need to add Jared. He messages a lot of weird stuff if you have him added on Switch.
Lots of yuckiness. Honestly,
Yeah.
so much grossness you might go...
But only if you're 18 or older, so he has some decency, you know.
Yeah, just, you know, a little bit.
Just gotta say that, you know, just in case someone takes it seriously.
Yeah, pretend.
Dinell says he always sends me nudes on Switch. Yeah, but you're 17. You're almost 18, so it's okay, Dinell. I'm joking, guys. Dinell's over 18.
Sends nudes on 3DS. Like you're actually there.
Sends nudes on Game Boy Color.
Yeah, let me send my fucking nudes on Picto chat. Let me stretch the image real quick.
Not complaining, but still wish you would send more. You heard that?
Jared? That would be me. Fair enough. Exclamation FC. Add me as a friend if you want to hop in the live.
True, I never do win, pigeons. I never win. I just never do. Because everyone hates me. Nah, I win sometimes.
Were you actually?
I think so. That was like what, late 2000s?
It was like, yeah, mid-late. Still waiting to be dragged into call. I haven't gotten a friend request from... Wait, did I add you as a friend? Are you in the game?
I don't see him in the waiting room for stream channels.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not gonna lie, I'm completely confused.
You might have to read the... Wait, you don't have any rules?
I mean, I don't have them as a friend on Switch, so I don't know where the hell they would be anyways.
Okay.
I also don't see them in the waiting room, so yeah, I don't...
What's
Are they
going on, Fairy?
Your server, maybe?
Yeah, we're not in my server, we're in Triscuit's, but you sent the someone sent the Discord, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Gamer for Life joined my my server. What's up? Oh, that was before. Let's see.
Alright, there we go. Now I got a friend request for Nuff. There we go.
Hey.
Come friends.
Was MySpace like a hype like social media back in the day?
It was
I
like
miss out?
pop off social media back in the day.
MySpace.
Facebook took over. MySpace allowed you to have so much customization on your page that it would crash people's computers, being like, all right, you have a GIF running as your background and a fucking song playing from some third-party website. This is crashing people's GPUs versus like Facebook being like, here's your wall.
I just
Facebook was the first one I had.
I just closed Discord, but it still works.
Same here.
Okay.
I like missed old like Twitter and Instagram.
I can join as
like,
a
it was
backup
when
in
it first
case.
Started,
Oops.
like 2012, 2013.
Rejected.
Chronological.
Low. Ping pong alert. Major ping pong alert. He ain't a ping pong master. Aw. Ping pong family, are you going? He said, see ya. If you're going, have a great one. Thanks for popping in. That's hilarious, Doctor.
For me to join it. No, yeah, no. If you're down to, if you're playing the game, then sure, I'm down for you to join it. But otherwise, I'm just like weird about it.
People.
Yeah, I thought you were playing. You were joining the game as well, Fairy. No. Is he joining the game?
I miss when the YouTube channels were customizable. Same here. Same here, homie. Playing the game while downloading it. 9 minutes. All right, bet.
Oh, you're downloading it.
This takes. I don't fucking know.
Bruh.
definitely
Come
won't save
on,
for 9
bro. Wait, he was downloading the game? I was muted. I muted myself.
I don't know.
Bruh, come on, Fairy. Come on.
I'm gonna start the game.
Yeah, sorry, Fairy.
I'm starting the game. I'm sorry. We've been sitting here. I'm starting the game.
Sorry, Dinell also. Listen, I'm not in control here. Well, I am of my stream, but Jared is it says Jared is in control on top. It's Jared's Discord server. He's the one that had plans to play this game, so I apologize for those that wanted to play. What just happened?
Did that in your chat?
What just happened? I muted myself, talked to chat, and what happened?
The lobby's stupid. That's what happened.
The lobby's on Fairy's side.
Actually. Oh, there you go. Just fucking 4-starred it.
Now Dinell is saying, I could join. Bro, I don't know. This is Triscuit's. Triscuit decided to play. We're in his server. It's not my decision. It's Triscuit's.
Hang on. I got this shit.
Sorry, guys. I don't want no drama, you know?
Wait, what the fuck is this bullshit? Is this an adventure story mode that I just clicked? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I'm not in your room.
Yeah.
Where I go to play with friends. Okay, we're going to play with friends in here.
Oh, I know why it's not working. Jared, it's because you don't have friends.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
You're hurting me. You're hurting me and it hurts. Stop it.
I make daddy jokes. No, I make dad jokes.
Oh, do
Jesus.
you?
Well,
You make daddy jokes.
I make daddy jokes sometimes too.
Yeah, no, hop into the game, y'all. Lobby recreated.
Find a friend's room. Searching for a room. You have no friends. Oh, here. You're here.
Hey, I think I'm in.
Here. Well, I imagine I have it open. Do you have the game like actually open and like able to play? Because we're able to get another player. I'm not opposed to it. I just want to make sure you have a fucking player.
Dinell's like, I could join. Fairy's like 7 minutes. Oh, Dinell joined.
Hey, let's go.
Oh my.
I don't want any drama. It's between Dinell and Fairy and whatever, but yeah.
Whoever's ready first, just like.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Fairy.
I apologize.
Dinell was a quick masters.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
The trigger fingers.
Yeah. But hey, if
I think
don't Dinell has disconnected.
Are you?
this
Bro,
game's
you know
cursed.
what? Don't let any of my viewers play.
No one gets to play. Literally no one.
I don't know, man. What's going on?
Wait, I was waiting.
What's going on? What's up, pigeons? PP masters. Thank you.
I have to go.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
That feels good. Thank you.
Green pipe. Oh god. Oh no.
I just clicked the fucking. Oh my god.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
that's what
it's
happens if you don't go with the green pipe.
Jesus
Jared's
Christ.
fault.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
How about Moses?
Jesus Christ?
How about cheese
Holy
it?
shit.
Sorry.
This game's menus are fucking atrocious.
Have you ever
It
played
is,
this
it
game
is.
before?
Why am I on a splash
Oh.
menu after
Bro,
I picked the
I
fucking
keep
game?
talking when I'm muted. Oh my god. Have you played this game before, Jared?
I have. I've never set up a fucking lobby.
Oh, I've never played.
Do you want me to set up a lobby? Or...
Shh, I'm gonna try and figure it out. Shh.
Bro,
Okay,
I I lost 8,000 viewers because of this. Come on.
8,000 viewers. Yep.
Oh god.
I'm still at 8,000, so it's okay, but still, you know.
Okay. The lobby is set up. Get the fuck in here if you can.
All right.
Watch it all be like our viewers and not even me and Jimmy.
Stop it. Stop
Beat
it.
us to it.
I'm putting myself to sleep.
That'd be kind of funny though.
Literally just fucking knock myself out.
Up, I'm in.
Okay,
We're
we
good.
got Jimmy in here. We got Elliot in here.
Just do a countdown. That's what
Fucker's getting in last. Go for it.
Ooh, what is
10.
this? You're level
Yell nil,
5?
Go for it. If it's fucking enough. I don't care. Go for it.
Hey, there we go.
Dinel's
Yeah.
still fair. Dinel's level 19. Can you kick him out? Or not? Okay.
Said that after the fact.
I was just joking. I don't. Whoa. Black screen.
So you said it joking, and then I took it half serious.
No, I don't. No.
All right. Green pipe.
Why is it
Oh,
so
wait, what are
laggy?
What is this?
Yeah,
lag
connections is
now?
unstable.
We're
Oh,
all
God.
American too.
Connection unstable. Because of who?
I'm gonna blame Jared.
I blame nobody.
Oh, it might be
except
me
all-
actually.
Oh God, this game's cursed.
Oh my god, we're not allowed to play the game.
Wait, what is it? What? How many bars does it show you guys on the top left?
One.
One.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if it's me. Never mind.
If you
It
want
worked.
somebody else press B to end your current section, yeah, I want to. I think I want to end it. Literally not working.
Damn.
You know what it is, right? It's Russian tactics to destroy the internet in the States, so we don't join the war effort in Ukraine.
This is how they're gonna break our spirits by taking away our Twitch streaming.
Yeah, Putin is like, I want all streams down.
Call
So is
ping a
somebody else
monkey.
gonna
Do
try and
it.
host it, or am I trying again? Cause
I can try.
okay, yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Who
This is
told you
really
to
dumb.
call me a monkey? Was it Angel? Call of Duty?
It was Call of Duty. It was Call of Duty. He said,
Yeah.
"Call ping a monkey. Do it."
Well,
Oh my god.
I copped out by reading it and not saying. it.
yeah, yeah. No, it's fine. It's okay. The Russians are sanctioning Mario Party. Exactly. Wait, am I in a game?
Oh
What?
God, are you back out? Back out.
How do I back out?
No, you definitely are. What the fuck?
Oh no, I'm not. What? Bro, this game is so weird. Can I refund it?
Broken.
All right, I'm hosting a. Yeah, I'm hosting now.
All right, guys, fast. Add Jimmy as a friend.
You can call me Angel, by the way. Is Call of Duty Angel?
Yeah. Call of Duty's Angel.
Darius here. They want a friend code. What's up? Well, I don't have the friend code thing sadly, but I can show it to you. I gotta set that ball.
There's a
up.
lot of angels out there.
Let me into the fucking game.
Yeah, no rooms can be found, right?
Oh wait, I don't know if I have you added, Elliot.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I have you added either. You remembered
Shoot.
my name. That's so sweet.
My friend's room, please work. Yeah.
Maybe you can join if Jared's in my room, though. I think.
Possibly.
Fairy.
Try it.
Pause it. Take a picture. I'm gonna leave in 2 seconds. Oh, never mind. I gotta.
Wait, let
From
me try to
request.
add you.
Okay. I guess if you go over my stream, I'm.
Search
Hold
for
on.
users you played with. Wait, I'm gonna do 10,000 IQ right here.
Oh, okay.
If
Outsmarting. Nintendo.
oh my god, it actually worked. Okay, I'm sending you a
Let's
friend
go.
request. Let's go. Unless there's another ya boy Jimmy that I've just played with.
I'm making so many friends tonight.
We'll defriend you afterwards. Don't
Oh, okay. Fair.
worry.
Understandable.
Have a good day.
For the love of God.
Let's go. I'm in.
Alright, surely it works this time, though, right?
Are you actually in though, or are you pretending to be?
Nah, I'm in. My
Oh
name's
my God, you're
Green.
fucking in. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
A friend request was received. Another one? Oh my god.
I'm in your mom. sorry. I meant your mom's house. Like I'm in your room in the closet.
Oh.
Like I'm lurking. What'd you say?
What?
Have a whole setup in there?
I don't.
Why are you streaming from the closet?
What did you say? Yeah, I have a setup in the closet, but I'm just like
Oh shit!
I have a
Nut
peephole.
fucking cut him up.
Yeah, Fairy got it. Danelle is like.
Sorry,
Yo, we
no.
really had enough time in between those tech issues for them to finish their install. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's.
I have
awesome.
bad internet, but call ping. No. No.
You could ignore Angel. But that would be pretty mean. But you could do it. You could do what you want to do. Preferably no Twitch TOS stuff though. But
What is going on?
oh, the game's actually working. Wait,
Oh, I don't want them out mini games. What the fuck?
Wait, what?
I don't even know what that means.
What is that?
What's
Oh, no, wait, I'm going back. It's okay. It's okay.
I just didn't have enough time. That's a good one.
Birds, you're gonna have to go over to
Mini game fucking mean.
stream.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, we're in the round.
Are you in? You're not in the server, homie. What are you asking for?
Who?
What's up, Fairy? Thank you so much for the follow, Fairy.
Asking to get added to the call. They're not in this fucking server.
Wait,
Oh,
who?
are they not? And yeah, don't. No, I'm not.
No,
We're not
like,
talking
what are
to
you
yours.
fucking asking, homie? Shit.
Oh, in my call, Fairy's like, add me to the call now, please. I mean, is Fairy in the game? Or no?
Yeah, Fairy's in the game.
Oh.
Me?
Oh, Jared, are you talking to your chat right now?
Fucking the person in your chat who's saying add me to the call. They're not in my Discord.
Wait,
yeah, you
who?
gotta join
Fair
that
enough.
Discord. Yeah.
Everyone is so triggered.
Fuck, we've been trying to make the game for 15 minutes. I got someone asking me to join a fucking call. I don't know what's happening. Fuck. It's stressful.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry.
I'm
Are
sorry.
you dummy? Who's going on an adventure? I'm going on a fucking adventure.
Birdo, oh my god, you had to be Birdo.
With the fattest DSL.
Oh, you have a thing on your Discord that shows if someone is subscribed to you on Twitch? That's actually really
Sure.
cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
I'm gonna add that.
Finally add that shit. It's super simple. I recommend it.
Did you use like the me bot or something?
No, it literally is just like you connect your fucking Twitch account to your Discord and it like connects your servers.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's super simple. I didn't know it was that easy.
See you, Angel.
All right, Elliot, I think you gotta pick a character.
Oh, you guys are waiting for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay,
Why'd
it's
you
okay.
take Luigi? Bro.
This person's insane.
Why'd you take Luigi, Jared?
Huh? Because
I
he's
like
my
Luigi.
fucking soul brother.
She's the closest to my skin tone, so.
All right, we're ready to go. Finally, we got this going.
Imagine it breaks.
Don't say it. All right, what do we want? We got what like map?
Alright, if you're in the server, then hop in the waiting room and then I can drag you in. Shit.
Yeah, I don't see you in the waiting room. I don't know why, Fairy.
You want to do Peach's birthday cake?
confused. And, like I'm just confused. I'm just confused and tired.
Anyone opposed to Peach's birthday cake for a map?
I've never played this game, so I have no idea.
Don't think I know it.
All right, well we'll play it.
We're playing for 1,000 subs, right?
Again,
Okay.
Alright.
another 1,000 subs.
How
Yeah,
long do you
I
guys
make
want
the-
the game to last?
I make
by
the
the way?
same jokes.
What time is it? 10:03. I'd say probably 30 minutes so we can get as many games in.
That sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So 30 minutes, bonus stars. Okay. I'll do all types of mini games. Let's go.
Alright,
Honestly,
fair-
this
fair
game
enough.
can piss
There
me
you
off.
are, fair enough. Shit. Barry, I swear I was not trying to keep you out. I just literally did not know where the fuck you were.
I am definitely an
What's up,
idiot.
Barry? How we doing? How we doing?
I'm
What's up?
very stupid, clearly.
Homie. No worries, no worries.
Nah, you're good.
Discord's a fucking terrible app. I can't even deny that.
You kept saying get in the waiting room. I was like, what the fuck's a waiting room?
No, you're good, you're good. Yeah, just the voice channel, you're good.
Is
And then
Discord
I-
worse Skype though?
Skype is dog shit.
Skype is
liter-
Skype is
Skype
worse.
fucking-
Discord's like the best for gaming also, I think. But even for other stuff probably.
Skype was good in like 2010.
Yeah.
That was their peak.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Some bullshit business.
How
Take
loud
care
is
of
this
token
game?
charge. Blah blah blah. Fucking scream at me more. Just give me that. That,
the
that fucking
hell is
code
going
nonsense.
on there?
Oh my
bro?
god.
It's your first time on the board? No.
Oh, he actually is going. I just realized.
Also my first time on the board.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
Not a one. Not a one.
it's my
Let's
first time.
go.
So.
Oh,
Oh,
that's Toad. That's Toad in his rawest element.
oh, I was about to say that's bullshit. I forgot I'm Daisy.
Yeah.
I thought it was Luigi.
Let's
Mad
go.
about nothing. Love that.
Jared stole my character.
Jared, you might have to press A.
Lol.
I was reading.
Oh, okay.
Dinell, you're so right. I think my brother uses Discord
Whoever's in charge of this.
for people sometimes. Like in school, they use Discord for something. But the main thing is not Discord.
All right.
I think it would be too hard for teachers to learn, to be honest.
Best luck, everyone. This
Oh.
game can be more brutal than Mario Kart. Not gonna lie.
If I was if I could pick Toadette, I would be Toadette.
Toadette's pretty fun.
Toadette's the best. Except Birdo. Birdo's second.
Oh my god, there's stickers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
I don't need to talk to you guys.
Just communicated all stickers. Love that.
I was gonna say
Birdo
yes with the
is,
sticker.
My
But
favourite character, just because of Mario Striker's charge football.
football or soccer?
Mario
Well-
Strikers. Have you played it?
No, I've heard of it though. Want to plant a strawberry? What?
That's the soccer one, right?
How does this? Should I
Yes,
should I
the
plant?
football one.
Guys, should I
Yes.
put a strawberry?
No, if you want, you know.
All right, then I will.
Damn it.
It's like
Well,
Monopoly.
If you land on it.
Oh, it's like Monopoly. It's like
Oh,
Monopoly.
that's. Oh, okay. That's. Okay. Shouldn't have done that.
Why would it tell you what it does after paying money? That's so stupid.
That is pretty stupid.
Hey, because you're stupid.
All right.
Call me
Higher than a 4.
You're fucking roasted.
Thank God.
Oh, you got so lucky.
Yeah. Never mind. No, I didn't. Fuck this.
Hey, monkey boy, get fucking wrecked.
Damn it.
You just ran over my guy too.
Jared
girl,
rolls
I
a
mean.
1. Jared rolls a 1.
Good enough.
Not quite a one.
Roll a one.
Gets his coin stolen.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
Oh my God.
What's up, Johnny?
It's made bank.
P and
Elliot,
S.
wow.
I don't think my teachers would approve. Yeah, there you go. Imagine entire Discord servers with classes where they jump around.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Brother,
of
online
course.
video app is way harder to learn. I guess
Told
it kind of
games
is.
in my favor.
Kids with Nitro.
Lucky Space, great.
It even delayed so that I could join.
This is the best Mario Kart by far,
What
but
shit do
online
you
needs
have
to
for me
improve.
right now.
Mario Kart by far, but online needs.
Making
D-
bank.
Discord-
Okay.
Discord is
I'm
how's
winning.
how's Pokemon going, Johnny? Oh, maybe he meant party. Yeah.
Team, I pity
Uh,
you.
We'll do a little,
All
do a
right,
little
we got
practice.
this, though. We got this though.
Wait,
It's
who's on my
literally
team?
like
What is
foosball. We
this?
got this shit.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
Easy,
lose.
easy.
yo, we're gonna win. Let's go!
Yo, let's go.
I'm a speedrunner, not a.
Yo, let's go.
Wait, why are you stat?
Precision down. That's
All right, I think we should start this. This is going great.
Oh yeah, I love
Let's
this
go.
game. This game's really fun, actually.
If you're ready, press the plus button.
Oh, okay.
Did I press ready, right?
There we go. There we go.
Luigi.
We got this ping.
I'm
we got
talking to
this.
myself. I mute myself way too often.
No, 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 no.
Ah! That was intentional.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Let's go!
Whoever
Woo!
Luigi
On
just hit
me.
it into our goal.
Yo, these guys suck. No!
No. Oh, thank god. Thank god. Fuck, fuck,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah,
oh.
let's go! Let's go! Are we playing
so
against?
slow.
Oh! Okay, we're
Dude,
good.
this is so intense.
Ah! Ah!
Oh my god. It's okay. It's okay.
Ah! He's just standing there, bro. How's? Let's go! Oh,
That game was dog shit.
bro, I.
So slow. Why is it so slow?
Yo, Jimmy, were we playing against bots there?
Yeah, sure felt like it, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was easy.
Oh,
supporting your
I'm
stream
not winning
as a
anymore.
fellow streamer.
I'm sorry.
You fucking better be.
Are these guys Pokemon?
What?
They keep yelling their own names.
Wait, what, the characters in the game?
Yeah, it's like Daisy.
I don't know. I didn't even realize that.
Anything above a 2, please?
I hope we get a 1. Oh.
Lucky space! Oh, let's go!
Ah, that's so mean.
Yeah. That's pretty mean.
Custom dice block? Oh, double! Let's go!
You're so lucky.
Okay. Didn't need to give him that.
You could only use Joy-Cons in the previous games? That sucks. I've never played... I think I played one of them in the past.
I want to die.
Let's go! Let's go! Wait, what?
I'm literally broke. So yeah,
I get
nothing.
What?
Oh, I think there's a space you land on, it's a plant, and a space you land on that like steals your money.
Oh, I thought he landed on my plant.
Events.
I thought so too for a sec.
What?
Yeah,
Does,
see?
what does this do?
It steals
It
money
steals
whenever...
anyone's coins.
Yeah, whenever someone lands on it. Minigame.
Oh god. These
Okay.
mini games are so intense.
Wait,
Wait,
is-
we're working together. Okay, this is good.
okay.
Oh dear.
Rock and race.
Are we playing Mario Kart again?
I hope not.
What is this?
Oh, it's racing, yeah.
Alternate What? How are you going?
I'm
Oh, huh? Oh.
Wait, what? Wait, how are you going? I'm so confused.
Haha, don't worry about it.
Wait, what the
It
fuck?
literally says the controls right there.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay, I messed that up. I thought that was like the... Okay, we're good.
No, but if you run out of strawberries or whatever the hell that is, then your character just like does what Jared's just did.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm gonna suck. I'm gonna say I'm ready though.
What are you going to suck?
That's trash, but okay, let's get it.
Birdo looking kind of thick, not gonna lie. How are you faster than me? You're so fast. Huh? Wait,
Fast
which?
as fuck.
Where am I? Bro, why is it such a
Wait,
small...
how do I hop courses?
Wait,
am I able to
what?
move?
Wait, you can
Fuck
hop
yeah.
courses?
I don't know. This fucking thing was in front of me, so I was like, how do I move around it? I guess I had to go through it? I don't know.
This game's mad
This game mode's trash.
Yeah.
I came first, so I think it's great.
weird. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. I'm gonna
Daisy
win.
has an advantage. I can't believe this.
I'm gonna win. Why? Are you sexist?
Nah, no, just playing the game.
Sorry. I like being stupid. Oh, come
I'm just glad Doctor's not playing this one.
on. Yeah. Doctor's too good. It just
Actual
changed!
God gamer. Damn it! Oh my fucking god. I'm so screwed. It's over.
Hey, never say so. How'd you pass me, Fairy? Bro, you've been
Because I got the
studying
inside
this
track.
game.
Do I have to like spam this? I
No, no, you're not. What do you mean?
What if I run out of strawberries? Oh my god.
Told you, Ping. I'm a speedrunner.
Oh my, go! No, you idiot!
You fat bitch!
I'm gonna lose.
Look,
Oh, let's go.
you say have I been
Please.
studying this game?
Please,
I
last
was-
minute, last minute.
Come on!
Last minute.
Go!
No.
Let's
Damn
go!
it.
Let's
Damn
go!
it.
I had all the adrenaline I needed. I suck so fucking hard.
What?
I wasn't
Same.
aware this game existed.
God
until
damn.
The stream, and I didn't own this game until about 10 minutes ago.
Fairy, you're not a streamer, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay, I gotta follow
I
you.
am live currently.
Oh, you are? Cool.
Fairy,
Yes.
I bought the game just for today too, but I didn't realize
Oh,
you
yeah.
just about it. Yeah.
So, literally, that's why I was downloading it.
We thought you were ready. Oh, what is it?
God,
Oh,
no, I'm
come
never ready.
on.
Oh, and I took your coins.
Oh,
There, I'll give you a
Feels so
follow
good
right
to be a
now.
thief. So fucking klepto.
All right. What you gonna get, Jimmy? What you got?
Something like above like a 2, you know?
You actually dropped me a follow.
Oh, let's go!
Oh wow, you fucking barely made your
Called
goal,
it.
homie.
This
You
man
better
has.
buy it or you better get smacked by it. Fuck
You know what?
If
I'm
you,
gonna say no thanks.
Wow.
Saving up the coins, saving it up.
you have 17, wow, that is one hell of an investment to not make, but okay.
I agree. Stonks. Yeah. You spend 5 coins to get 6 coins. Well, you could get more than 6, right? If more people stand on it. But
A little bit of money. Little bit of money.
let's
Not
go.
nearly
And maybe I should have did that. Not a 6, not a 6, not a 6. Damn it!
Not a 7.
Steal someone else's.
What?
Oh,
What?
God fucking damn.
Fairy, you're so lucky.
Congrats. Nice. Wow.
I'm so ill right now. I cannot be lucky.
Lucky you. He is.
I've been ill for weeks.
There he is feeling sick. Goes away. Wait, it goes away after 1 hit? Oh, that sucks.
Alright, minigame time.
Heck yeah.
Let's
Hopefully it's
go.
better than the last one.
I don't know any of these mini games, so yeah.
I
it's
don't
all
have
like
my
a
glasses on. I hope I
surprise
don't
to me.
actually have to spot someone.
Count the number. What?
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
Fuck.
Ones that are like super simple that just fuck you.
Wait, how long does this go for? Wait, why are you guys
However long
pressing
you
A?
need.
Wait, what is A?
It counts.
Oh.
A add account, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that's how it works.
I suck at simple math, it's over.
Yeah, I'm done for.
Yeah.
I'll ready up. I get it.
Easy.
I get it. My bad. The
And some
answer's
of them
23.
aren't Goombas. That's annoying.
You only do Goombas, yeah? One, two, three. Ah! What? Don't tell me any of you guys got that one.
No way.
Okay, good. They're gonna fall, bro. Nah, that one just killed me, bro. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Ah, shit.
You guys are off.
I think
8
I
times
think
5?
I-
40. I think it's 40.
Baby God, baby.
No!
Literally.
Let's go! Let's go!
You
I missed
fucking
one.
fakes. You fucking fake.
Even
piece of
Chad
shit.
didn't get it. I'm a freaking beast, baby.
God,
I was
lick
so
my
close.
ball sack from fucking front to back.
Only if you shave it.
I'm a mathematics student. We spend very little time
Jesus
actually
Christ.
getting
I think.
Rolls a 5.
What's
Oh,
a
okay,
5?
never
You
mind.
wish.
Yeah.
What's a
Oh,
5?
damn.
God damn it.
Lucky space.
If you don't get the 7 coins
Tell me when to stop.
now.
I listen to you guys. What is a
Fucking
mushroom?
piece of
Wow.
shit.
Wow.
Plus 5 to dice
The
roll.
best item.
Fucking
Let's
piece of
go. Let's go.
shit. Monster.
Wow, indeed. What's up,
What a
Chido?
monstrous piece of shit.
Welcome back? Question mark? I probably went to them.
I got enough for a star now. Let's go.
Hang on, how high does the numbers go?
I don't know.
Enough.
It upsets me that that is a 6-sided dice.
Yeah,
But it goes higher than 6.
that is so true. It is
You
weird.
Stop giving me fucking coins.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Never mind. Keep giving me them. Keep giving me them.
Damn.
Stop giving me coins.
Wait,
Here, have some more
Golden
coins.
brick? No, I thought you give me a fucking. Oh,
you got 12 coins. Chill.
I thought I was gonna get a golden pipe. Fuck the coins.
Golden pipe's so OP.
Action.
Wait, why does Fairy have a star?
Ah. Because I got the star first.
Because they got by it first. Yeah.
Did I just go down?
Yeah, you did. I don't know why, but
Fuck.
you did.
I didn't
Coney
go, I didn't choose
Island.
to. It just sent me down.
Coney
you called
Island.
it.
That's in New York.
Long's a cheater.
No, it's I live near Coney
British,
Island.
I would disadvantage.
Nah, you're a cheater.
I probably shouldn't say where I live nearby.
Yeah, don't dox yourself. Oh my god, this is difficult.
What?
Oh wait, no, the shadows. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm blind.
What'd you think it was, bro? Wait,
It was just random for a second.
the controls are so like. Oh.
These are so janky.
Yeah,
I kind of hate this.
bro. Fairy, you
I
can
hate this, I won't lie.
Fairy, you're too good at video games. Can you not?
I'm not good at Mario Kart.
Are
You
you
all
fucking-
decimated me earlier.
Am I still coming through? Wait, what's going on?
Does anyone hear
What's up,
Triscuit?
Jared?
Am I still
hear
going?
you.
My fucking stream died for me.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Well, my stream's going fine, so
Yeah, that's a you problem, Jared. No, that sucks. That sucks.
I know it is. Hang on, let me fucking end my shit real quick. Wait, I'm just gonna. We're avoiding the problem.
I'm really good at catching ice cream now.
the
Oh.
advantage is we now get way more practice.
Yep. Is
Maybe
this
I
what?
should, like-
Actually,
Is this what New York looks like? East, south, or west? Nah, it's okay. Now we know who was the problem earlier. Oh, true. I mean, who knows, but. Alright, I'm
What's
back.
going on?
Upset Triscuit's rating me with a party of 10?
wait.
Wait, who's that fucking idiot?
Thank you so much, Jared.
Of course, you little dumb dickhead.
Thank
My
you, thank
shit
you.
ended, so I figure, fuck it, let's make it work for somebody. Dude, I'm sick of fucking fighting with OBS. I'm not dealing with that
Aw,
bullshit again.
That's sweet to read, Jimmy.
I
though.
appreciate it. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, of course, homie.
Oh, that
Wait,
ice
I gotta
cream.
catch ice cream. Fuck.
Oh, let's go. Damn it!
What the
My,
fucking-
no!
Oh, that
Oh,
shit
it
was
was
mad fast.
I don't even have a fucking chance.
That's
Let's
why.
go.
That's why you don't do nice things.
Oh my god, I got a follow.
How?
I'll see what happens in a second. Damn it, hold up.
What? Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
what a fucking mistake.
Oh, let's
What a
go.
No, thank you so much for the follow, Danelle.
Danelle, that's that's my guy.
Appreciate it. Ooh, nice.
So, well, Danelle followed me like a while ago, so
Imagine if all ends the stream. Oh god.
100 followers ends the stream.
Yeah.
Wait, you have that as a
Oh,
thing?
I'm behind now.
No, I don't. I have
Ah.
this for channel points.
Late, but I got it.
Thank you.
Hang on, wait. I
Oh,
was
you got a star.
24, then I went down the slide. Is that put me in a good place or a bad one?
I don't know. But are stars good?
Yes,
Stars, like-
you win.
Okay.
Yeah, you like win the game if you have enough stars.
All right. So do I win?
You're tied maybe, or
No, I'm winning
And
because I have more
second-
coins than you.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Calm down.
we'll see after the lucky space.
Okay, well
Uh,
now you're winning.
Nah. Let's. Well. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
Now,
Yes,
that's
not
good.
coins. Still winning.
still good though.
Let's go.
That's the item that I'm in fact
Wait,
going
what-
to use right now.
When can I use that stuff?
You choose
Whenever you
item.
want.
Well, I want to use it. Well, it ended my turn. Oh, I see.
Anything
I
but two
see.
ones.
Item.
Anything but 2 1s. Okay, thank God.
If you get, you motherfucker.
Okay.
See, if you got
13?
anything other than 2 1s, I was going to fight, but you know what?
Wait,
I
you
would
get a
love
star
if that
too?
match-
Get a go. Fuck
I
you.
get a star. Yeah, let's go.
I haven't even finished this seltzer. I'm about to go grab another one.
I
Okay.
would
You want
love
what flavor,
if
Jared?
you didn't have enough coins.
Strawberry currently.
Nice. Oh, let's go.
I just realized my camera's covering
Ha!
Jimmy's
Fuck you.
score.
You're going down the slide as well.
You're terrible.
The star is brought to you by Jimmy Sucks. Oh, thank you. I love that sponsorship. Sorry, I someone in my chat.
How do I use the items that I have? I can't like use them.
You're not Luigi.
Oh yeah, bro. Why do you have to take Luigi, bro? I like.
Because I'm
Lu-
a piece of shit like that.
Nah, you're okay.
Punch it.
Where should I put my camera? I guess on the bottom, yeah. That's my face. There we go.
If you roll-
Are you fucking kidding me?
If you roll one, you're
Oh.
screwed. Oh, you got lucky.
Thank you.
Go, Jimmy, go. Thank you, Jared.
I'm just cementing my.
I hope you lose, CBH. I'll triple my points. Oh my god. Chat's rooting against me.
Oh, just some more coins. Cool.
You're too cracked.
Bonus minigame.
Rooting for Jared? That's understandable. Me against everyone? What the fuck? You're kidding me. What?
Depending on the game, that could be massively in your favor.
You're Jared and fire.
Hey,
Five-year-old
you're rooting for Jimmy. Let's go.
Let's go, 5-year-old.
Well, how does this work?
Wait, what?
Wait,
This is
this
the direction to
the
look
game?
by the time
I have no
the
idea how this
music
works.
stops.
Choose a direction to look by the time the music stops. Team side, look a different direction. Don't get tricked. Oh fuck.
What?
Hi,
You
Jared.
gotta
Okay.
look at the top map. I
Thanks,
think it's like
gamer.
whatever direction they are looking, you don't look. I think. I
Oh,
don't
this is a
fucking know.
Japanese game. Like, I'm not even trolling. This is a Japanese game. Like, I don't know if they're taking it from the Japanese game, but you're supposed to look at different directions, and whoever,
Actually,
Probably.
well, like,
we need to look a different direction.
well, like in the
Okay.
Japanese game, like one person will be like 3, 2, 1, up, and like will point up with their finger, and the other person has to put their face like in any direction that's not up.
Yep, basically that.
That's a Japanese game. That's so
Ooh,
cool.
There's a lot riding on my decisions. Okay.
But I don't
That was a
understand
good
how
pick.
this works. Oh,
Don't look in the way Donkey Kong's
J-
looking.
yeah. Jimmy is the person this time,
Yeah.
and we're
I'm
all
the
versus-
unlucky individual.
It's like rock paper scissors, but you're not looking in any direction.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys were waiting for me to start. I'm sorry.
Okay, next time let's do
Anything, but
first I say
also,
back.
yeah.
Okay.
You guys gotta say it if I'm being dumb.
Oh, let's go. Sorry, Jared. Sorry, Jared. No, I didn't. Oh, I didn't do it. Jared still lose.
Jared, what are you doing?
Maybe I'll do nothing and just let Jared lose.
Wait, I'm pressing a button.
Jared,
What
you
is
don't press a
happening?
button. You press a
Yeah,
direction.
Oh, damn it. That was bad for me.
No, Jared still lost there. Oh no, he only has one. Oh, okay. I got it now.
Oh, damn.
You could change the last second. It feels like Jimmy's a Dumbo. Why is gamer so
Yeah.
mean to you?
Dude, typical.
Okay.
Typical.
Stop being toxic.
Who's being toxic?
I have so many coins.
Jimmy, you dumbass. What am I doing wrong?
I'm gonna have to mute myself real quick because I'm probably gonna get yelled at for being loud, but like also, shit.
Yeah, Denell's 25k. Yeah, easy. Yeah, of course you do. Got the easy 25k channel points, right? Just for joining.
Why does it tell us our placements in the halftime? What's the purpose?
To really hammer in who's the loser in the group.
Jared.
You literally bully your friends. There is no purpose beyond making your friend feel worse about themselves.
Ooh, gamer.
No, that would be Mario Kart.
Let's go. Lucci has this in the bag. No, he doesn't. He's getting.
You got this, Jared. You got this.
Oh, got this easy shit.
Imagine Jared actually wins.
Oh my god! Don't put the pressure on me.
The predicted winner.
Predicted winner, Luigi. Stop it! I'm gonna fucking lose so hard.
That's how
Oh
me
my
and
God.
Jimmy are. We have a love-hate relationship where I bully him, yet
my
his
God.
friend, like Buford, Phineas, and Ferb.
Okay.
That's cool.
Do
But
I
was-
give off more Phineas or for vibes?
wasn't Buford and Phineas and Ferb literally like a bully?
Yeah.
You're You're
Yeah,
you.
literally that.
You give off Ferb vibes.
Holy
I do?
shit.
Okay,
The bully
okay.
who thinks they're a good person energy. Holy shit.
I don't know why that was so funny.
I'm a fucking agent of karma. That's what I am, you guys.
22.
There's only one thing I remember from Phineas and Ferb, and it's if I had like a nickel for every time I got doomed to death by a puppet, I'd have like 20 cents, which is
Yo,
a lot. It's weird that this happened twice. I don't
Dude,
know
you
what
kinda
a nickel is.
you kind of sound like Ferb.
Do I?
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie. You kind of sound like Ferb. Like when you occasionally talk.
Because of he's
You got
British.
the accent.
Yeah.
Ferb? British?
Wait,
I think Ferb might have had.
guys,
a
what
local
should I
accent, yeah.
take? Triple
First time
dice?
Bird fucking spoke with an accent. I was like, wait, what?
Guys, what
I
should I
give off more
take?
Belgique vibes. Oh my god.
Guys.
Cursed dice block.
Huh?
You gave more Belgique.
Mushroom.
Guess a Belgique. Great.
That's fucking funny.
I'm gonna buy a mushroom.
I'm Belgique, and my whole chat's Buford, whoever his name is. Great.
Aw.
Oh my god.
Wait, how do I use my? What?
I think I'm Isabel. Wait. Is
Jimmy
Isabel a
Kid?
character from Phineas and
Yeah,
Ferb?
yeah, Isabel.
Yeah.
I
What you
remember her.
doing? That one.
Yeah, what
That
you doing?
one, yes.
Yeah.
Guys, how do I use my mushrooms and shit? They don't let me use it.
All right. What do I got? Let's go.
Everyone's just ignoring me.
Well, that's because you're too easy to ignore.
Oh.
Buttons, that's why.
Oh, let's go. 10 coins. Give Jared just starting? No, I'm
Thank
keeping
you,
this stuff
Danelle.
What did Danelle do?
Oh,
Dino.
God, actually. So I keep saying, oh, I'm not looking at my chat. What if people are talking to me? And they're not. There's no one.
Guys, go talk to Fairy.
Everyone go follow
No,
Fairy.
Don't go. Don't. Don't patronize me. No. Yeah. Why not? Do it. I put out irregular, terrible content.
Feel like you shouldn't now go to his channel. Just kidding. Yeah, but a friend. Go item, then use dice. My item was, I wasn't able to oh, it's not, bro, Jared, what are you doing?
Nothing at all. Stop it.
What are you doing?
Oh my God! I actually did get a follow. Oh, it's from you. Okay. Thank you.
Wait,
Danelle
what?
says you have
wait,
quality
I'm at a star?
Oh
How
my
did
god, why do I
okay, I'm
feel,
getting a star?
why do I feel
Congrats,
like
Jared.
I'm in a dream and, like, what's going on? Like, this is a fever dream or
You
something.
might be. You really might be.
It's like 3:30 in the morning. Oh, at least for me. So you know.
British?
Wait, why are you up at 3 in the morning?
Play with us.
Because I
Rub
woke up
over
at 9.
here.
I woke up at 9 p.m. So that's why I'm at 3 and half.
Jared, press the button.
I'm hitting the button.
I don't know what button you're pressing, but you're not pressing the button.
Literally the A button. I don't know what lag you're dealing with. The whole fucking Czechoslovakia, but whatever.
What? There's no Czechoslovakia anymore, I think.
It's the Czech Republic and
And
Apparently
Slovakia.
in your fucking apartment.
I don't live in an apartment.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then, homie.
I'm second, but that's because I put a massive ass plant thing.
Gamer says language, Jared.
Gamer, you want to talk about language?
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. This is
It's
how you
gonna
don't know
steal
how
a
to use
star,
items. Oh. Ooh.
Oh. Fog versus everyone. Okay, cool.
It's okay.
We out here. Wait, what the fuck is it? Wait, 2-bit or
We out
music?
here.
What is this?
I don't know. Try to pop your rival's type. Steer clear. What?
I swear, I have only played this game like 3 times, and there's always new
Okay.
bugs whenever I play.
I will kill you
Oh
all.
god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
I will kill you all.
It's just me left. This is so one-sided, this game. Oh my god.
What do you mean?
No, no, my
No, I've only even lie. I'm not even looking at what's happening in the game. I'm laughing at chat.
Oh my god.
Bro, who is this fairy? You're like a goddamn god. Can you stop it?
Oh, I don't know what's happening, but just, I just
Ah! You goddamn.
Oh, you can
Ah! Ah! I still got you. All right, let's play.
So close.
I love I love this conversation with gamer interest. Oh, the game started.
give a shit. This dude needs fucking help. I don't give a shit. Fuck this fucking idiot. Yo, game
Ah!
my shit. Fuck off. Stay out of my chat, loser. I don't fucking care.
Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Why
Don't
would you do
know
that to
what
me?
my character was doing there. I just needed to get my point across. Apologies.
What the fuck?
Easy.
So mean.
Ivy, easy.
Oh my god.
Yo, homie, this is your band. Dumbass.
4 turns left.
Oh.
I'm doing shit.
Okay, I'm gonna use an item.
Nothing right now.
I only have one mod in my chat, and I haven't seen them for weeks.
2 + 5. Oh. Yeah, but you don't stream that much
Months,
anymore, Fair.
actually.
Well, you're getting back into streaming now, right?
I am, but they turned up once for my first stream back, and
Wait.
I didn't notice.
Wait, do I have to pay 10 coins right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned up when I was doing an SM64 race with you.
Ah, yeah, that's
Like,
hard
I
to
didn't see it.
look at.
They came back, I was like, oh shit.
What?
Did not reply to their messages.
What is this? Damn, gotta look at chat. Bro, why are you talking to my chat, Jared? This is how you get them all to your side.
That's how I bet.
Yo, mods, ban upset triscuit?
Fucking ban me. I beg you, dude.
Nah, don't do it.
Literally, you'll save me so much trouble.
Risk it or a triscuit.
Exactly.
I could save myself so much stress by just asking a mod to time me out for the next hour and a half or so, and I don't.
I just
I
got
just
banned.
don't.
My mods are revolting.
Stop self-promoting, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're so insufferable. I'm sorry, it's not my chat, but you're fucking awful. You're just bad.
Is Gamer for Life is
no.
originally Jimmy guy,
It's
right?
toxic as shit. I'll say it outright. They're fucking toxic as shit.
I
not
like
worth
Gamer.
keeping in your chat.
Gamer is awesome to me. What a nice
They're
person.
literal garbage, but fuck them. But it's okay.
Oh, Dinell, why'd you ban Jimmy?
What the fuck? You banned me?
Unban him.
What?
I know I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't have.
right now.
Oh my god, no!
I keep forgetting that Danelle is a mod.
I know I shouldn't have modded him. I'm just joking.
This is
He
why I
didn't
said
ban you. He
yeah.
banned a different Jimmy.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank god.
Jared, can you go?
What? I fucking literally was waiting for the last call, and then I got called out in chat, and I was like, waiting for
But who's Jimmy the Boy? What if he's like a millionaire?
Real
Can you
control.
unban Jimmy the Boy?
We're gonna let them.
Wait, did someone just make an account? Jimmy the Boy?
I don't know, but he banned Jimmy the Boy.
Give me the boy as Jimmy.
No, it isn't.
No,
I am.
I'm
y-
your boy, Jimmy.
Yeah, your
Isn't it?
boy.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
You banned
sorry.
Jimmy the Boy.
I just remembered the word boy and Jimmy. I was like, but.
Thank you, Doctor. I feel like there's a goddamn angel and a demon. Doctor's the angel and Dinell's the demon.
Is Doctor an angel?
Yeah. Yo, plant a big one. I planted a big one.
I already planted a big one. This is
Oh.
my small one.
The phrasing of this.
What? What do you think we're talking about, Jared?
Clearly
Big
talking
one
about
just
gay
doesn't
sex.
sound good.
Oh, let's go, Ping. We're on the same team.
Let's go! Best team.
Oh yeah, winning team right here.
Unless we lose.
Oh, that's true.
Well, how does this work?
Oh shit.
Round the stamps with your carry-on?
Wait, what? is
Who
this?
am I? Oh.
Wait, work together
Oh!
with your- Wait,
need to
work
work
together with your
together.
partners around the stamps with your So you're just wrapping around.
Yes, you need to work together with me, please. Please. Oh, please.
Alright, I'll just say
I'm
here. Let's
gonna
see here.
largely probably stand.
Let's go.
We
Yo,
got
I
it, we
can't
we
get
got
it unless you help.
yo, let's start. Let's ready up so we could just.
I can't.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
get
get,
it in a
let's get this over with.
Yeah, get them while they're down.
I can't.
Everybody
Can't.
press.
Oh shit, my bad.
Oh, that's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Dude, please help.
Beat Triscuit. I'm
Balance,
rooting
all
for
things
you and
should be.
Jimmy.
Jimmy Fallon, that's right. The Nazis.
I'm
have
going
it.
this way. I'm going this way.
Oh shit.
We wrap around, wrap around.
Ah, it's so fast.
Shit, shit. Oh shit, shit. Oh
It's
god,
good, it's
oh
good,
god,
it's
oh
good.
god.
We're actually communicating, so we're probably gonna win.
Come on. No.
Oh,
No.
we gotta wrap around for like middle. I
Oh my god,
maybe-
You got this. You got this. You got this.
Yeah,
Bro, that shit is
How the connection
stupid,
would
bro.
work, but okay, if that worked.
Oh my god.
What are you
oh my
doing?
God.
Your
I'm
character's
sorry,
too.
I'm sorry.
Your character's
Oh,
too
yeah,
big.
I'm actually so dumb. I'm so dumb. Oh, my god.
Bro, your guy needs to
can't.
lose weight. It's not your fault.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
No shot. Holy
We are
fuck. Yo,
absolute
what's good?
bosses.
What's good, Fairy? How we out here?
Donkey Kong's being too many bananas.
We fucking out here. That's how.
Blame
I
it
have
on
no
Jimmy.
idea what you just
Get
said.
it, yo. Let's get it.
This game's definitely been like over a half hour.
Well, it's
Oh,
because
1000%.
Jared takes forever for his turn.
I want to actually video game you.
I want to get video gamed by you. That sounds really weird.
I want to get video gamed by you, like right here, right now.
I
Whoa.
want to video game the shit out of you so hard.
I'm gonna bend you over this desk and video game you to death.
Whoa.
I'm gonna take this USB port and video game the fuck out of you.
Wait, that's mine.
Fuck
What?
yes.
Come on,
Yes,
bro.
game.
You just
I'll
ate
do video
her.
game.
You took my star.
Because I genuinely don't know.
This game is bullshit.
Yo.
Wait, how'd you get a star from? Wait,
The
what?
large plants give you a star. The small plants give you.
No, it
coins.
gives you 30 coins, but I guess if you don't have 30, it gives you a star.
But
Nope. The large one is you steal
Oh.
a star.
Are you
seems
kidding
kinda
me?
broke Or whatever.
Oh no. A duel? Oh no, we have to win minigame against each other, don't we? Oh damn it, I'm losing.
Doctor, good one. Very close. I don't know if we'll win. That sounded kinky. Lose, Jimmy, lose. It's tax season.
So 1 coin.
Yeah. I'm losing, that's why. I know I'm losing.
I don't even know what the content of this duel is.
I'm just bad. I'm just bad. I just
Dinell
know
says, tell Fairy you got this. Gamer says, lose, Jimmy, lose.
it. Of course. You know what? I believe in myself.
That means nothing.
Where? I'd have never played
I'm
these
just
games.
joking.
Wait, fuck, never mind. I don't have this.
Oh, I see.
Oh, it's not me playing, thank God.
Bro, Jared, I feel like you're like 20 seconds behind.
I might be. Shut up.
But it's okay. You're drunk, you're high. You're
Exactly.
yeah.
I have my excuses to at least be a little bit slow right now.
Jared's vibing. It's okay.
I'm chilling right now.
Let's go. Gamer says, spoiler
I've
alert.
literally never seen this game before. The DLC hasn't come out yet. Like, this isn't a new thing.
There's a DLC for this?
There's going to be in, like, I think 3 weeks or so.
Really?
Yeah, the first DLC package is supposed to be coming out, I think.
Oh, I think you're thinking of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Thinking of Mario Kart, my
Yeah,
brain is
I
broke.
bought the Mario Kart DLC.
It didn't come out yet. You pre-ordered
Guys,
it?
don't
Yeah, I
listen
pre-ordered
to
it.
me for anything.
Oh.
Literally, stop listening to me.
Oh, it's not the same pattern as last time. It looks like Fairy.
Yeah, I've figured that one out now.
I hope Jimmy wins. Or Fairy.
I'm losing. Shit. I made the wrong move. It's GG's.
You have so much self-confidence.
Oh, wait. But these moves might be cracked as fuck. Oh, wait.
March 18th. Yep. Comes out March 18th. Is Brain on Mario Party 11?
Shit. Oh, I made the wrong move.
Oh, but potentially.
This is not as intense as it looks.
You're not playing, man. You don't know.
That's true.
Shit. Oh my god. Please.
Oh,
my god.
shit!
Oh, my God.
Oh! Oh!
No fucking shot.
That's actually crazy.
You got
I
all of
thought
those
it was
2
fucking-
coins.
Wow.
I got 2 coins. Let's go.
All for 2 coins.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
You see, this is why this game is
Holy
stupid.
shit, Jim.
That took skill, and you got 2 coins. But I step on a freaking thing, and I lose the
He
start.
could have got more. He just chose
That
not
was
to.
my fault. That was my
God,
fault.
how many coins
I
you
stole them
fucking
anyway.
lose off
That was hype.
Dude, the 5-year-old is screaming yes. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Thank you, 5-year-old.
Oh, you
I'm
don't know
glad
how
the
it
5-year-old's having fun.
Jared!
Yeah.
I'm using my item. Suck my
Ah!
dick. Literally, suckle the scrotum, you motherfucker.
You get so
Scrotum
detailed
isn't
with
a
it,
pleasing
bro.
thing to suckle.
Oh.
I gotta give you every little bit, Iffy. Don't you worry.
But the scrotum is
God.
really gross.
Yeah, it is.
That was a
For
good game.
flower
God.
lottery, that'll be 10 coins. Please to find your path. Wait, what?
It just happened to me. Are you
Wait,
blind?
what am I doing? Wait,
Oh.
what is?
Just don't pick the wrong seed.
One's a winner, the others aren't. That's such a fucking great pick. I hate that.
Difference
It's probably-
Oh, wait, why
Is
do you
it
have
ugly?
3? I had 4.
It's the ugly one, right?
'Cause
Let's
you
go with the
picked
ugly
one.
Oh,
You picked
Oh,
one of
God.
them, so now there's 3.
I get
Watch
it.
it be Bowser's spot.
Flower.
Oh, you're okay. You're
That's
good.
what happened to me.
Oh, too bad you don't get it. You don't get to see King Bowser. Hope you're not disappointed. So nothing happens. I just spent 10 fucking coins for nothing.
It's the same thing happened
You didn't get
to
to
me.
choose.
Okay, I got 6 points back. Whatever.
Come on, 10. Come on, 10. That's a 9.
Oh shit! You called it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's a little
I thought
delayed.
that the last second. Oh, it's delayed. Never mind. I'm stupid.
Mini game time. What?
No! Why am I? What the fuck? Me against everyone? Why?
Oh, reverse everybody.
Bro,
I
have
love it.
confidence. You don't have self-confidence in
Coconut
this game.
cup.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, I have this.
Wait, what is this?
Wait, so
Jump,
roll
ground
around,
pound?
Dodge the.
And
fall,
I've already lost.
Ground, wait, ground pound to drop coconut on
Jump.
the solo player. All right.
Honestly, I'm just gonna stand below Jared and hope for the best.
Oh, I
Literally,
got
that's how
it.
you're best at.
That's actually probably good. Oh, you're. Oh my god, he's so good.
I'm just a god gamer. What can I say?
You
Oh,
act-
never mind.
Yes!
Fuck this. Oh, fuck
I
this.
just shit on your mouth. Don't worry.
Alright,
Oh
I'm down
my
for
god.
this.
This is
I'm
fun.
not. Oh god.
Don't you worry, Jimmy. I got doo-doo ready for you.
Oh good lord.
Oh my god, Tanel's in my chat. I wasn't even
Oh,
paying
I
attention.
just
He's
killed him.
been-
Oh, you could kill each other. Let's not jump on each other. You killed me.
I didn't mean to, but
oops.
also...
I keep pressing B to jump.
I killed Fairy. Guys, we have 14 seconds. Oh, never mind.
No! Oh, what the fuck?
Let's go.
Tanel's in my chat and I just did not
I
notice.
got
Yeah,
his
Dinel's
ass.
no longer in your chat.
I
Dinell
know,
is
but
fucking
it's like-
disowned.
I screwed it
They're
up.
like-
Sorry,
There are 6 messages.
I
sorry 5-year-old.
You gotta look.
That's such a good impression. I'm not gonna lie.
I practice on my off time.
That was pretty good song.
Let's go.
Daisy. We took the star. Fuck.
Daisy.
This 12
Oh
horse
my
shit.
god.
What
That's
is
it?
this fucking head start nonsense?
What do you mean I had a cool mushroom?
you?
I got 5, 7. Never mind.
That's close.
You said okay, can you win? True. There's still potential. Game's not over.
First. God
Oh, thank
damn it, bro. I mean, good job.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I lost the star.
Yeah.
This game is racist.
Okay, so now what
diggity
do I
dog.
have to do? I got 29 points.
Roll
So
some one.
something good
You
with.
say the game is
Oh,
racist.
Let's go. Let's fucking
I don't know. I say a lot of things are
go.
racist.
Go.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Oh,
I
that's
wanna
terrible.
literally
Yes,
fucking
let's
myself so
go.
fucking hard.
Oh my
Let's
god.
go.
I'm going to piss
Ow.
myself. I'm going to literally piss myself.
Kind of sussy baka, but okay.
This is the Bowser space. Are you ready to have some fun? No, I'm not.
This is where Bowser video games you.
What the?
That's what happened
This
to me.
game is
Feel the
dog
pain.
shit. This game is literal dog shit. Fuck this game. Oh my god, literally fuck this game. Holy shit, fuck this game.
It's
Oh
so
my
unlucky. Oh my god.
And I get a star.
Feel the
Oh my
pain.
god.
How lucky Triscuit Pog.
Oh,
Or fairy.
I am a superstar.
This is your 3rd star. What the fuck?
Well, he stole one from me.
Care anymore.
He
Oh
stole
my
one
God.
from me.
Yeah.
You're actually right, Doctor. Ooh, that's a sexy Totodile.
That's a what? Oh no no no.
I've never been to the shop yet.
And you're still ahead of everyone. Damn.
Are you actually gonna take up all the time you need, or should I go pee real quick?
I gotta
no, don't
pee
pee.
too. Should I go pee?
So I'll fucking do it.
I don't know if I should do it.
I haven't eaten yet.
I'm gonna go pee. I have a new break screen, so I'm actually kind of excited. So I'm gonna go pee.
Ooh, show that off.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna piss too.
According to rumors, this life-size
I'm not.
Yeah.
anime figure is haunted. Rumors spread so far
So,
that the company had a Shinto priest
you know.
exorcise it. Bro,
How's everyone's streams doing?
32,000 people
Can't read
liked
all
a
your chats.
video of you doing
Just a
this.
good time.
Putting some copyrighted
Yeah.
music on it. What the hell, bro? What the hell? I hate the internet. I actually hate the internet.
Tyler, did you die when I said
Oh my god, I'm your biggest fan!
All right, I'm back from the
Did you
piss
get
break.
trick shot at?
I love you so much! Oh, I missed.
Oh, you gotta run over.
Is anyone else back?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
This headset's so
I love you!
I'm the,
Oh,
I'm the
no.
fastest pisser confirmed.
Love. Either that or you're the smallest bladder. Love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah. So I'm a large
gonna
fat
record.
man, so I doubt my...
and we'll be back in like 2 minutes. We're gonna
Oh,
put
shit.
toner. I just don't want to stop the stream.
I'm
and
a
start
large
it
fat
again.
man who does so much exercise, yet because he eats so much, he's still fat.
Damn.
Hug! Oh, I can't hug you. You can't
Oh,
hug your
shit.
teammates.
Oh shit, shit. Can you not? I'll try to hug Ping.
Wait. Chest
Um,
bump.
So this should be fine.
Oh, chest bump?
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, no, hold on.
This is so
Oh,
hard.
damn, hold on.
This is gonna be
Fuck,
full of
this
I'll go
is
this
so
side,
I
go
know,
that
right?
side.
Alright, hold on
Not
one
me,
second.
though, 'cause I was
And
a
now.
former English teacher in Japan for 2 years.
Kinda.
You
Kinda,
know,
whatever.
whatever.
It's like
No,
when
it's
two guys
fine,
fail
What the
in
hell
real
happened?
life.
This is a good song.
Yeah.
though. I'm back.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah!
That was
What's up?
pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you looked
I'm
at it.
saying, yeah, I don't look at it.
Games are you fucking
Oh
cheating at
my
right
God.
now?
Bro, it doesn't run ads anymore. This button.
It's like,
I have a
Oh, let's
button to-
go.
I have a button to run ads when I go to the bathroom. It doesn't work anymore. Gotta fix it.
so you're trying to get a try, and we're trying to chat.
Well, how do you play this?
It's
I have no
football.
idea. I'm
It's football.
dashing for fucking football or some bullshit. I
You've
don't
never
fucking
played
know.
football before?
I'll
looks
stay
more
back
like
here
rugby.
for the team.
Well, it's football. Not
But
rugby.
rugby's better.
Oh shit.
Yes. Oh, we could dash too? Oh no, we can't. We
No.
Oh, let's go.
Can you do me a favor and throw me so I can get T-Nell's channel points?
No. Damn. Alright, I stay
Yeah,
back here.
love
You two
that.
charge
Ready
for him.
up.
Alright. Birdo, you charge at him.
The only reason for the ads is for oh, give me a sec.
Oh shit. No.
Let's go! Let's go!
go!
Get out
Also,
of here!
like,
What's there for
Get
Christian
out
Benedict?
of here!
That
This
was
chat, I
really
didn't
Outta
I
here.
thought what fucking rip.
I got you, bro.
Doctor just lost, I believe, in
Unfortunate.
Ping's chat.
Oh. I'm not throwing. Bro, I win so many of the mini games that I'm losing. This game is BS.
It is. Rolls a 1, that'd be so fucking funny.
No.
Damn it, I was hoping. Oh my god.
I had so many dice stuff. If I didn't roll higher.
It's your second first star.
I can't even afford it. Oh, I could. Never mind. It is my second first star. Thanks for reminding me. If you're losing, blame it on Jimmy. No. I vote.
Why? What did I do?
I don't know.
That's what haven't I done right?
Gamer.
Actually, you should blame it on me.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
You
Yes!
asshole!
Oh my god,
Part of my
actually
plan.
ripped?
No, like ads take out pre-roll ads. That's why I like putting ads when I go to the bathroom. But that kind of annoyed me that they didn't run, but it's okay. Blame it on. Yeah, see, blame it on Jimmy. That actually made sense there.
This is the last turn, right?
Yeah, you won. Don't
so
worry about it.
can I get round the whole board in one go?
Probably not, but you can give it a try, you know? You got the triple dice.
The other triple dice.
This game is dumb.
Not wrong.
For Jared with 0
I
stars.
want to fucking scream. It's okay.
At least you didn't have one of your stolen.
I want to fucking scream, but it's okay. I want to literally fucking scream, but it's okay. Oh my
Everything
god,
is
I want to
fine.
scream.
You should scream.
Damn.
Oh.
Did you just take a shit? What was that?
Part of it.
Oh, nice. Y'all need to
Just a
be
little
nicer
chart.
to Jared.
Alright, round the whole board. Let's go.
Y'all need to be nicer to Jared, yo, real though.
I'm supportive of Jared.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
Jared.
God.
Jared made me. What? Jared made me. Of course I'm supportive.
Oh my god, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no. Yes! You're kidding! You're fucking kidding! What the fuck?
What?
Oh my god! Please be the Bowser one. Please be the Bowser one. Oh my god.
50-50.
Please be the Bowser one. Please. Please, 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 please.
This could change up the game. And
Come on, game. Come on, game. Come on, game.
Jimmy would win.
Wait, what happened? I walked away for half a second.
The game's on my side!
Yes! Jimmy just lost.
Oh no.
If he's nice to me, lol.
I hate this fucking game. Here's an extra 10 coins, yeah.
It's gamer
Take
being
coins
here.
back to the same thing as well.
His energy is making you play worse.
Oh. Wait, 18 to the star. What happened?
Oh, it's Rose's 5-year-old?
Whatever. It said 18 to the star, right?
It did, yeah. I thought you were getting it. I don't know what happened.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I'm not complaining.
I'm still winning, but I feel disappointed about it.
Me too. Me too.
My Mario Kart skills are translating. Let's go. No, never mind. Fuck this game.
Wait, who am I? Bro, why is the screen so small? I don't know who I am. Oh, I see.
Drive 4 laps, watch your speed, going too fast. Wait, so tilting S speeds up? Is it just up?
Tilting up.
It looks like it, yep.
Wait, is it up or is it in any
I
direction?
assume it's up.
Oh, it's literally just up, yeah. Okay.
It seems like it, yeah.
So dumb.
I don't know what the fuck this...
Basically, go around 4 times.
Whatever.
Okay, Fairy, you're smarter than us. We got it. What just happened? Did we all just
We
screw
all
up?
sped up at the wrong times.
Who am I? How did you jump?
You don't jump, it's the lap thing. The track, it goes
Which
around.
one am I, bro? Oh. Bro, I keep getting hair-hitted.
Let's go!
Oh, second. Fuck.
What the fuck? Oh, it says
I'm
max.
literally not even
Oh,
playing
let's
it.
go!
Bro, I just
Woo!
understood it at the end. This game is dumb.
Why did you
I
click
hated
ready if
that.
you weren't ready?
Because everyone else did, and peer pressure.
That's garbage. I fucking hated that shit.
Alright, let's see what happens.
We know what happens already.
Yeah, that's true. Fairy win.
We have to give Tim 1,000
Wait,
subs,
bonuses.
I used the most items. I still lost.
Bonus goes to...
It's
I
me.
didn't
only
It's-
used
let's
one.
go!
Oh, let's go.
I
Wait.
get literally no bonuses this whole fucking...
I deserve an extra star, though. You stole it from me. Come on.
Oh, Jared gets it.
You're the people who landed on Bowser space? No shot.
That's
Wait,
Jared.
what?
That's Jared.
Yeah, Jerry gets that
Why would it
100%.
be me? Wait,
Star you
I
lost
just got the
earlier.
Bowser space.
did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a star you lost earlier. You got it back.
Man forgets everything.
The only
And
fucking star I
everyone.
get. Love that.
We already know who won.
Yeah. Jared lost? Are you kidding? What?
Fuck this game.
I thought you won,
Holy
Jared.
shit. Oh.
Damn.
Wait,
Congrats, GG Fairy.
What? I didn't see that.
I am a
coming.
superstar.
I thought you had a black and blue eye for a second.
Damn.
And Birdo's the cutest. That's why Birdo's best.
Birdo is ugly. Birdo's like, I don't know.
Birdo is. I think Birdo's canonically male.
I don't know what that okay.
Which surprises me.
Yeah, I thought Birdo was not male.
Same.
I could be wrong.
Birdo could suck up a lot with that nose, though.
True.
Yo, she can snort that fucking shit.
True.
Some super sharp skills.
Oh, you won more mini games. Okay. Oh, I won more mini games. What?
Oh, I'm just.
I won the most mini games, but I lose because he gets one of my big stars, and probably for other reasons.
Jared stuck it through to the very end. Congratulations.
I didn't see where I was.
Get it.
GG's, everyone. GG's. That was something else.
GG's. Ping or Jimmy, Jared or Fair. Oh, that's how you put the predictions? Oh, that's great. And
Why
Fair.
can't I fast forward? I just want to fucking get to the end screen.
That was really good, Doctor. I don't know.
Why can't I
I
get to
did-
the end? Oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
On Mario Party level 11. I'm a rookie.
I'm level 11 too. Wow. All right. What do y'all want to do, by the way?
Much in common. I don't know.
I'm personally still vibing. I could do another or can do Mario Kart. It's up to y'all though. You can do whatever you want.
Feeling pretty
I'm still on Mario Kart. I don't give a fuck.
tired. I'll play like one more of the parties if you guys are down.
Oh,
Yeah, party. My bad. Whoopsies.
I'm down.
I'm
Yeah.
very much intruding, so I'm down to do whatever.
All right. Cool. We'll do one more. We'll do one more.
Let's go. Toad is making some hot ass takes right now.
Just realized I spent a crap ton of money today.
Yeah.
Like I was going to buy Mario Party anyway, because I have people that keep coming around. But
I just
Should
did.
I try the one on the highest difficulty? You know, for content.
Yep.
All right, Horrorland. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Make it 70 turns.
I'll do 10.
Yeah, let's do 10.
I mean, that was what, half an hour, 40 minutes?
All right, guys. I want to do a little prediction in my chat if anyone wants to join in on this.
We're already doing a prediction because my mods are awesome.
Hold on.
No, I feel
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. My mods are not here.
Chat.
Oh, a coin flip one. All right, I'll do a coin.
So all points on me. This game loves me.
I'll just do while I come in top 2, and we'll see what happens.
Pick a
Yes?
mini game pack.
Or no.
Okay, coin flip, tails or heads.
Sure, yes, since I've been mean.
We got 15k on yes, 15k on no. What will the answer be? Cue music. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it because of my... You guys could see it, right? My face is not in the way. You guys ready? I am flipping. You guys could see it, right? Yeah, you guys can. Okay. I am flipping right now. It is Tails! Wow. Congratulations to whoever won. I don't know who won. I wasn't paying attention.
Favorite?
Alright, I'm back.
No, I don't watch horror movies.
Oh, okay.
It's like I don't like horror movies, so I don't watch horror movies. So
Yeah, I
I don't
don't-
have a least favorite horror movie.
I just don't know if there was one that like set you over the edge where you're like, now I hate horror movies, you know?
No.
Okay.
Uh, I just hate jump scares and scares of all kinds. I don't like being scared.
Understandable.
It's like I went to the London Dungeon, which is like a horror walkthrough experience thing.
Mm.
It's very touristy, whatever, but it's. I was like 8, and I was shitting myself the entire time.
Oh god.
Wait.
It was terrible.
Alright, this is something about the map because I have no idea what I'm playing.
Womp will move.
Wait, guys, I have
Okay.
a question.
What's up?
If I predict for Jimmy to win and I purposefully lose, is that okay?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. Just making
mean,
sure.
I mean,
You'd win a
I
crap ton of-
won't complain, but you know, you can do what you want.
You'd win a crap ton of Jimmy points.
Ah, true.
4, goddamn.
Why do I keep getting
One?
a low?
Oh my god, please get a 1, Jared. Please get a 1 or 2.
Jared fell asleep.
Oh my god. Yes!
Oh
Let's
my God.
go!
What is this,
Woo!
bro?
Let's go!
By the way, guys, you could predict on who wins. Yeah.
Oh my god. This is great, this is great.
Jesus. Doctor has 90,000 points.
Doesn't Doctor keep doing bets that he'll definitely win?
No. He only did
Thank you
that
for the
once.
3 bits. Lose, Jimmy? Oh god. I'm just gonna game, you know? I'm gonna try my best to know.
Where's the first star? Huh? Oh, she's kind of cute.
Look, it's my babe. My babe.
Stop it.
That's my girlfriend, guys.
Wait, she's pretty young, bro. That's kind of weird. Never mind.
How old is Toadette canonically?
This is.
Let's just say young. 'Cause she looks
Yeah.
young.
It's like all toads look the same.
They never grow old.
Yeah, toads never age.
I
Yeah.
need to go to bed.
It's the immortal lolly situation.
If you need
Jared,
to
how
go
long have
to,
you been streaming for?
well, he's not streaming.
I was streaming for 6-7 hours and then my fucking shit died, so I don't even know how long now.
Wait,
but-
why'd you
I mean-
agree to keep playing then?
'Cause
I mean, I've been
I'm
streaming-
fucking in here. Why not keep playing?
No,
I mean,
I
I've
thought you
been
wanted to
streaming
go to sleep right now.
hours.
That's why.
No, I'll keep playing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to interrupt your guys' content. My shit already got fucked up. So
Aw.
why not help you guys?
You're so
I appreciate you,
sweet.
Jared. Thank you.
I'm out here just trying to make sure people get their shit. I don't give a fuck, dude.
By the way, Gamer says, Fairy, I got money on you, not Jared. I believe in you.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
You believe in me? I wouldn't, honestly. I used up all of my luck.
As a beginner, now it's my turn.
20 coins, 20 coins, 20 coins, or 15.
Wait, what does the chomp call
Damn
do?
it.
Ah. I'm being.
Don't
you-
make
I
me-
don't even know what the different abilities are at this point. Like, I know the fucking pops up at random points. I don't know what other points it pops
Yeah.
up.
guys.
I might lose.
Mushrooms are kink as fuck. Not
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm being told that mushrooms have like 1,000 sexes, not related to age, but slightly relevant, and that they're kind of kink.
Kinky AF. Jesus Christ.
They're pretty hot, can't lie.
Yeah, let me get those fucking fat shrooms in my chat.
Oh my god.
What?
Well, give me those thick spores.
Yeah.
Give me 1 star. Literally choke myself.
Damn. No, you got a lucky space. That's pretty good.
So 1 to start is always a good shout. But no, seriously, what does a chomp call do?
Huh?
What?
I don't know.
It's something, I guess.
I'm just a person.
Hey. Pang, you predicted yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, because I could influence the decision, so.
Wait, do you still have the prediction up on your stream?
Yeah, actually, there's a minute left.
All right. Oh shit!
Oh,
I gotta run over. I
right.
gotta run over.
Predict that I'll win, and then we'll win together. Hey, thanks for the bit.
Yo, that. Oh my god, amazing strat, amazing strat.
I kept muting
great
my
play right
laptop. And I
there.
couldn't. And it's like, why the fuck can't I hear anything?
Oh. Gamer.
Ugh. Okay.
It moves a
to
star.
move to a star. What?
No, it moves a star.
I thought it moves you to the star.
See, Gamer, you confused me. I read your message, but I completely, like, didn't understand. My mind was somewhere else. My bad.
Thank you for the air horn. Thank you for the air horn, Ben.
Yeah, Gamer says Chomp Call makes the star go away.
Maybe if you look in chat, you know. Wow.
Yeah, you're a bit late there, Bob. Yoshi emote goes on Rule 34? Hell yeah. It moves it? Oh. Raises the same color of the flag that Shy Guy raises. Wait, what? Wait, I'm already dead.
No, you just press both at the same time. Fuck.
Damn it, we're both dead.
What? What? Oh, no, I wasn't ready. I was... Bruh. I wasn't ready.
Oh, rip me.
I didn't pay attention.
Whatever. I guess I'm dying first round.
All right.
Shy pulls trucks.
What the top?
How fast you gotta do it? Oh, I
As
thought
fast as
that.
possible.
Let's go. Oh, what?
No.
You? Oh my god.
We're all dead. What the fuck?
You said as fast as possible.
Bastard.
Wow.
You lied.
Love that.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Fuck
No
you
way.
guys,
And
shit.
eat one.
Oh my god.
I thought you
That's
said he
crazy.
pulls trucks, not tricks. That's what confused me. I was like, what? Oh, he's strong. Okay. My bad. I could have taken Gamer's advice and been first.
Alright, roll a one, roll a one, roll a one. Fuck me. Oh, I don't have enough coins.
But you're not on the thing yet. You can have a mini game to win.
I got ultimate troll.
If you get it.
Autocorrect.
Oh
you
wait,
should
no,
know.
yeah, sorry.
I'm too dumb.
I thought the middle counted.
Bro, half my audience can't even type in proper grammar. Okay, I'm sorry. I think Gamer hates me now.
Don't know
too.
if that was the right move, but we'll see.
We shall. Gamer hates me now. Too,
Oh,
I
thank
think.
fuck.
You got 7. Whoa, you hit a whammon. I do have TTS Gamer. You don't? Aw. Look at my channel point rewards. We have a lot of rewards. The guy that's too high to know what's going on.
I can't see how many coins I have. How many coins do I have?
Jared's just tweaking out right now.
16.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I left my glasses in the dojo, so
You have
I
a
don't.
dojo?
Oh, you do
I don't have a
karate?
dojo. I do jiu-jitsu,
Nice.
but I left my glasses there, so it's like, oh fuck. So I can't see the. I have it on a projector, so I can't see it. It's just like, oh great.
That sucks. You give me
So
too
I
much
keep
power.
getting up to read the rules.
I mean, you guys are the blood of the stream, so I have to give you guys some power, right? Let's go!
9, wow.
69.
The Fitness Gram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity
You don't
test
have
that
enough coins.
progressively gets
Wait,
more
what?
difficult
What
as it
happened?
continues.
You don't have enough
The
coins?
20-meter pacer
it
test
says
will
5
begin
to the
in 30
star.
seconds. Line
Huh?
up at the
Yes.
start.
What do I press?
The
Choose
running
which way you
speed
wanna go.
starts
I wanna go
slowly,
left.
but gets faster each
choose
minute
it.
after you
Oh.
hear this signal. Beep. A single lap should be completed each time you hear this sound.
Beep. Open a gate. Do some
might be okay.
shrooms. Open a gate. It only costs 3
mean,
coins.
I haven't played this map, I wouldn't know, but it might be.
Yeah. Oh, too much power? You might be right.
Yo, want to go right? Because, you know, we're both going right, right?
There's an exclamation point. Is that good or bad?
I don't know. It depends.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
you-
left gets me the star.
But you don't have enough coins.
Oh, that's what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
What?
Yo, this is evil.
This game is stupid.
Oh my god.
That's why it's high difficulty.
Okay, like, huh?
You can unlock it if you want to.
Yeah, I can read, bro.
Oof.
Okay, I don't know this map at all, so I didn't look at the board either, but aren't I going the opposite way? What's the point of this gate?
You'll go back round and you'll
All right.
go back to the star.
Sneak and
Sneak.
snore. I love this game. Sneak to the bun and out the door while Chain Chomp snores. Hide in the... Oh, shit.
Fuck me. Oh my god.
Well, how do you hide? Release to hide. Bro, he won because he's AFK.
No, he hasn't won. He needs to make it to win.
Bro, he's AFK.
Oh, Jared, you
shit.
okay? Jared's been muted for a few minutes.
I want to hear this air horn and Among Us.
Jared, you okay? You can always unlock it. Hydrate. Oh god, do I have a little bit of water left?
Oh my god, there's such a delay.
Oh, is there?
He's thinking about his life choices. Yeah, he's like, why am I playing with them?
I'm muted? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah.
You were.
Yeah,
I didn't mean
you
to
were...
be this whole fucking I want to die.
Say that a lot in a video game.
It's
Yeah,
okay, in only the most realistic video game I've ever experienced. Die sometimes. What? I don't even know what the game is. I genuinely don't know what the fucking game is.
I'm just not gonna move and I'll win.
Oh, let's
I
go.
don't understand. I let
Sure,
go, but he doesn't.
why
He
not?
doesn't.
I'll kill myself in a video game.
He doesn't drop back in. Like for so long, there's no time to react.
Yep. You gotta get lucky. Stop
Don't
it!
rely on
Stop,
luck.
stop, stop, stop.
My skills have got me this far.
Oh. Oh, you just won.
Let's go! Oh shit,
God.
I have to go back around?
Oh, you do? Oh, come on, brother.
Fuck this, dude. This is so
Damn, you're
stressful.
too good,
This is
bro.
so
You're mad
stressful.
good.
Nah, this is stressful.
I'm actually too fucking cracked out of his mind for this game, and I hate
Oh, you're so good. What the hell?
No, no.
You're actually godlike.
Let's go!
You're actually godlike. Yo, you deserve that
it.
win.
Wouldn't even
Thank you,
fucking
thank you.
know.
Thank you, thank you.
I hate
wanna
how long the
fucking-
delay was. I don't understand.
That was for you, 5-year-old.
That was really weird, bro.
The
I'm not
5-year-old
winning
rooting
it.
for me.
It's strange.
Fuck this game.
Oh, I don't have any coins.
What? You threw that hard? Well, I didn't want to
I'm
get
one
eaten.
coin short. Fuck.
This game hates the Jews.
5-year-old cheered
Someone-
yay. Aw.
Someone somehow get me a coin in like the next few seconds. Somehow, please, please, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somehow.
Jared will do it. Oh my god.
Oh, one short. Damn.
Just like, I need a coin. Like somehow now, please, please.
Watch this motherfucker be like, I'm missing something real quick, and then.
Oh yeah. Oh.
The opposite. Let's go.
Oh, or, fuck me, cause fuck me and then fuck me.
That's what happened to me. You should go. Why didn't you go the other way?
I couldn't.
Oh, item shop. This is OP.
What's up, Nico? How you doing?
What's up, guys? It's Ping Pong Masters bringing some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War gameplay.
What? What are you saying, Pink?
Okay.
Nice, you got a double roll.
Guys, it wasn't nice. I was just trying to be like a loser.
I love when you're in the Zelda.
Great to hear it,
track
Nico.
On Mario Kart, it plays all the Zelda sound effects instead of Mario Kart ones.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing one does that too, I think.
Does it? I haven't played it yet.
I love when Jared doesn't know how to press X.
My turn finally? Fuck. It's been waiting long enough.
Oh shit.
He gets a goddamn 10.
Oh shit! I haven't gone to my Animal Crossing island today.
Ooh. I'm doing great, Nico. How you doing? I'm just a little tired.
Yeah, I'll do it later. None of the shops are open right now.
Oh, you said you finished breakfast. Nice. What'd you have for breakfast? Ta. Gamer says that he hates you, Jimmy.
Oh what? No, he's get to
Aw.
star. Fuck.
Why? Because I'm too good at this game?
Yeah. Oh,
Don't you get a star?
he just said
Yeah.
certain curse words. I don't know. Might have to time him out. Whoa. Nah, I'm joking. He didn't say anything. Jared, it's still your turn, bro.
I'm on a fucking stream.
Someone had to say it. Imagine no one said anything for like 5 minutes.
I would have kept sitting there
I know.
Sorry, Jared. How long have you been streaming?
You just ate bread, Nico?
long enough.
Oh, you told me about the bread you
It's
eat.
like
I would though.
I'm 6
Pan
hours
gamer.
in.
Wait, Jared, you might be like 8 hours in now.
It was 8 hours in, and then my fucking stream died. So now we're like,
No.
we ended at 6.5. But we're
Wait.
still out here.
Yes.
Damn.
Wait, I
Yeah,
should have
I was-
changed the star location. I had.
Shout
the
out
thing.
Twitch. We love it. We love a broken website.
What's the
Oh,
long-
yeah.
What's the longest you guys ever streamed for at like one time?
24 hours, 15 minutes, I think.
8 hours.
Longer than 8 hours, less than 24.
There.
Losers.
Who the fuck is yours, Elliot?
I don't know.
I would do longer streams, but I've got no reason to.
So you wouldn't.
I mean, no, I do it for fun.
I think
That's
my
like-
I've done.
Question is,
Looks like you don't have that many fucking coins. Goddamn right I don't. I don't have shit, homie.
I've
Guys,
done.
Rose did a 27-hour long stream. That is insanely long.
Who did?
Rose.
Oh,
Does that mean-
my Rose? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Nico.
Fuck that shit. I did a fucking 24, 28 hour, and I was like, this is so much more than I need.
I mean,
Yeah, I could
Fuck
never.
that shit.
I've been awake for 70 hours, so I reckon I could do a longer stream, but
I would
I-
go to bed.
I was also, you know, like, needed to go to the doctor and get given tiny little pink pills to put me to sleep. So
Yeah, you told me that one. That was
Yeah.
crazy. The longest stream I did was like 24 and a half hours or something. I did like 12 24-hour streams.
I don't know
He's
who
on
you
12
are,
24 hour
Flame,
streams.
but this is not a great way to introduce yourself, sweetie. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, how they introduce themselves?
With a fucking bunch of self-promo bullshit. And wait, hang on, can I fucking...
Damn.
Oh, tell me when to stop, Jimmy.
Never mind. Not my chat. Never mind.
Jimmy, tell me when to stop.
I was on the wrong
Stop.
chat.
not your chat.
God, again, yes.
I was looking
I'll
at my
take it.
program, I saw a different
So
window.
good for you.
Fair enough. I should actually open your chat in like a window somewhere.
Yep.
I think I have all
If you want.
my normal chat.
Check out my new AMV. I'll check it out later, Nico. I'm in the middle of playing a game. Tweet it at me, and I'll check it out.
Your piranha plant to make it. Okay, I guess. Let's fucking make it happen, I guess.
Wait, I don't
You got
get-
this, Jared. You got this.
I hate this already, but it's okay.
Wait, if you hit the boulder, do you lose the plant?
What
Ha-
boulder?
Seems like just follow the plant, and that's.
Who
like,
am I? Oh.
I hate.
Did you say hit the boulder? The boulder, I think, is Daisy's dress.
What?
Right out the gate, I
No,
think
there's a
this-
boulder, not a boulder. There's a that thing. Those things.
God, I hate this mini game so much.
This mini game sucks ass. Which is
Alright, let's get this
which is
over with.
pretty cool.
It makes
I
sense.
thought he was about to get toxic as shit.
Are you playing online? Yeah, I'm playing online with 3 other streamers. They're pretty small time streamers, but. Oh, was I not muted? Oopsies.
Oh.
Tell me what
I
it's
mean-
like to have somebody in my chat, please.
Oh, I forgot to ready up. Sorry.
Oh shit.
Y'all good,
I'm
y'all
Jared
good.
kind of sounds
playing
depressed.
stream audio.
I think he's
Always
just
do
tired.
that.
Oh shit.
It's because I'm sad.
Oh,
I
why,
feel
why are
that.
you sad?
Same.
Because hormone imbalances. Oh, fuck.
I thought you were gonna have like a deep answer.
No, it's just, you know, being fucking sad, yo. I got nothing beyond that.
Is this streaming to suppress the pain? My bad. That's what I do.
This game wanted to like let me have a single fucking.
Yo, this game sucks, bro. This
I got
game.
literally 0. I got fucking nothing out of that. That was.
You're
dog
welcome,
shit.
Nico.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a second, I'll take it.
Oh, what?
round was
I'll take it.
Garbage.
Now we call that being really, really bad at video games.
Damn. Oh, I finally got coins. Let's go.
I think that was
At
just straight
last.
up dog shit.
Y'all getting bad mini games, to be honest. Oh, maybe there's better ones on this map, and we're getting unlucky.
Maybe, but.
Oh, it's actually not.
Stream once. It was a sleep lock. I beat Let's Go Easy Nuzlocke in 1 run. You're a fucking psychopath. Holy shit. If I were switching,
I
so
beat.
asked you to
Let's go.
cheer for Jared now instead. He
Oh,
goes,
nice,
"Look,
Rose.
Jimmy,
Let's drink for Jared now.
No,
so-
you're fucking kidding me! Ah.
fucking sick of this kid."
5-year-old starts cheering for Jared, so I asked if he was cheering for Jared. Now instead he goes, "Whoop, Jimmy." Oh, let's go.
Fuck these kids. Oh
Let's
my
go.
god.
Hopefully, we'll see it soon, Dino.
Chat. Holy
No! You're
Yeah,
fucking with me!
Hey, you love it. You like it.
Oh my fucking
Let's
god!
go.
I hate it here.
Get video games, bitch.
I love it.
Alright. Which one? You're fucking with me. Oh. Oh.
Yo, language. There's a 5-year-old watching.
Sorry, you're so right. I'm so sorry.
He's video
You're-
gaming with me.
I'm yeah, with me.
Dino's throwing bits for you, Jared. That's so sweet. Thanks for the bits. Yeah, he is.
But is he though?
Hey, he is.
What is he though?
He's not.
That's my phone.
He was. He threw 5 bits for you.
Was he actually? 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't see wait, let me look at let me open my fucking bits reward thing bullshit.
On my channel, bro. No, not on your
I-
channel. On my channel. He threw bits and he said go for Jared. Oh, wait.
If you have a lower threshold, that would make sense. Otherwise, I have no idea where
Shit.
that popped up.
Never mind. I don't think you're I think you're really tired.
I am struggling.
No, why the fuck?
Oh, went down subs, Nico? Jimmy doesn't care about kids. Canceled.
Yeah, not yet.
Got it. Just tear it down or something. I don't fucking know.
You know what
All I
gamer
gotta
said?
do is do well.
Let's
Bro.
do this, y'all.
Just do better, you know?
Just do better.
Jared, you're in first place, by the way.
Hey, don't start that.
Just
No,
be
stop.
good.
You
are,
actually
you
are.
are.
You are.
You
Just
are!
stop. Like, I'm saying, stop it.
You even found
you
the
gotta have
gold.
luck.
This better
Let's
be a
go.
fucking- this better be a fucking problem, I feel like.
Whoa.
What? No, you're doing good.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Fuck them kids, Bernie Mac.
I shouldn't be giving this money.
Should I say it to them? F those kids. Nah, it's not. Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I just pulled a Jared. My bad.
The next time Pink does a charity stream, I want him to do the 602.
Oh yeah, I looked into that because you mentioned it. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. That looks crazy. You have to play like every Super Mario game and beat it. Oh,
No way. No way.
That
No, it's
sounds
only-
like
You'll never survive.
It's only Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, my bad. Is that all?
That's nope. Nope.
And it's
Stop
only-
now.
I listened to you. All right.
This wasn't the worst option.
It's
like-
120 stars in SM64, 120 shines in Super Mario
You're
Sunshine.
fucking with me. You're fucking
It's
with
too
me. What,
many.
me versus everyone? Are you kidding?
Have
Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna do
confidence,
it one day.
Jimmy.
Oh,
Have confidence. You're
I know
good.
how to run them all except Sunshine because Sunshine sucks.
Oh wait, you're gonna lose. This is hard.
hold on one
Oh.
second.
Wait,
I'm gonna do a power shot, and you're gonna get
Streaming, but
demolished.
okay.
Oh, never mind.
I'm such a good goalie, right?
Yeah. Oh, I got that. in.
I'm just out here killing it.
What the power
just-
shots?
Let's
I'm
get
with
this
it.
shit over with.
Let's
Let's
get it,
this-
y'all.
Yo, the power
get this
shots
over with.
never work. Jimmy, don't
This
have
is gonna
confidence.
go awfully.
Don't listen to Jimmy. Remember last map?
I
Oh.
need coins, bitch.
I don't know.
Shit,
how-
oh, shit, oh, my fucking god! Oh my!
Yo,
me,
Jared,
dude.
play the game, Jared.
Playing the game.
Jared, I love you.
Yes, sir. I'm playing the game.
Power shot, let's go. I got like all of them, bro. I don't even play soccer. I mean football.
Football, bitch. Yeah.
Oh, I...
Let's go, bro! Look at that
Damn it.
shot, bro. That
Damn
shot
it.
was
Y'all,
sexy.
let's get it.
You can't even lie, that was sexy.
We got that shit easy.
I needed those
Oh.
coins.
Oh. What?
A...
Didn't I get like 6 of them?
Yeah,
No,
it
show
wasn't.
up
It
first,
was a
Zach.
team game.
Don't even try and talk shit.
That's so dumb. Yeah, I carried, exactly. It's okay.
I'm bad. Wait, fuck.
Sorry. Sorry. Nice. Bring it. Lucky you. Gah. Jimmy.
I don't give a fuck. Keep it. I don't give a fuck. Let's go.
Jimmy just get gifted 1,000 subs. Why isn't he going? Oh my
Nice
God.
block. I don't get it. Keep it going.
Good night, 5-year-old.
Bye, 5-year-old. Sleep tight.
Don't let the bed bugs bite. God, what's going on? What is he doing?
I keep picking up the wrong can of energy drink, taking a drink, and it's empty every time. Ugh.
There should be a... Oh. You've been drinking a lot of energy drinks, huh?
Yes, I am on my 3rd can.
Jimmy, you're muted. I don't know if you know
And
that.
deafened.
You might
Not
not know
only
that.
can we not tell Jimmy they're muted, Jimmy can't hear that we're telling them he's muted.
Bro. Who's the 5-year-old? I don't know. It's Rose's 5-year-old?
You're...
Come on, Mononate. Come on, Mononate.
Jimmy's
one.
too dumb to
You're like
understand.
pollinate. That's accurate. That's true. That's legit.
Whoa. Pay 5. Do it. Do it for the content.
Colton!
I don't even know what it is. Let there be night? Wait, is that all it does?
Let there be night.
It's punny. You just got ripped off, bro.
Yeah, Jimmy needs to be let back in.
Oh, is he not on the Discord? Ooh,
It's like, I can't let him in.
me
So-
neither. Yo, Triscuit biscuit boy.
You're...
You gotta
need to
be.
let Jimmy back in.
You gotta. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say anything.
Got him. I got... He's
His-
not here.
There we go.
I don't know what happens.
You died real quick. It's okay.
Thanks,
Okay,
bunny.
okay.
We're just like,
Rigucci.
it's like Jimmy's deaf and muted and in the waiting room.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. That's so good. Oh, you suck.
Congrats!
Damn.
Why is Mini Bowser there? Oh, that's actually mad good. Yeah, it's a good dice. It's a good die, not dice. Stupid gamer.
I said, I
Hi.
can't believe the game. Hilarious.
Bro, Jared is like doing something else while playing. It's your turn, bro.
Watching the game. Shut up.
What?
I think Jared is just like taking naps in between turns.
You're watching what game?
Maybe. Shut up. You don't know. Shut up.
I don't, but it's your turn. Bro, guys. I'm gonna kick Jared out.
No, 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 no,
That's
no.
so mean.
I can't even do that. I was.
Oh god.
What's Van Allen belts if I'm stupid? What?
Welcome to the item shop. I don't want to buy anything. Thank you. Actually, just kidding. Fuck you. Give me.
You like the mushrooms, yeah? Exactly. Get it. You're out of room. Choose an item to discard. Oh, you have so many items. You're popular, boy.
And you're not using any of them.
Get rid of the...
Wait, that time wants an 8. I have a double dice block. Why didn't I use it?
I don't know. We're on turn 5. But you're okay, I think. If you receive a triple... Oh, okay. Never mind. It's the belt on your fan that makes the supercharger go vroom.
Sorry. So when I was starting
that
to
was
start
beautiful.
beatboxing, I just
Yo,
hopped in.
beatbox, I'll play some guitar. Jimmy will play some guitar. Jared will play some
Oh, yeah.
guitar. We'll see what happens.
But my beatboxing is shit.
So was our guitar playing.
I've heard your guitar playing. You're not shit.
Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, it's my turn.
Apparently I've dropped 40,000 frames.
That doesn't sound good. Bro, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
No, you get it.
Oh. Oh, that's cool. I think he's talking about Jared. What's going on? Why are you laughing?
Me?
I don't know.
Oh, someone's watching my stream right now. Hi Kanto.
What?
Someone's like drunk reacting to my stream. It's okay. It's okay. Don't question it. Don't question it.
Jimmy, give me a piece right now.
Alright, anyway. Okay, so I'll be back in your stream after this. I'll say hi. Alright,
Oh, I
I'm
suppose
paying
you just
attention to the game
really
now.
fast. Okay. This is easy.
It's kind of
Yeah.
toxic.
I can BLJ.
You just want to give a...
Alright, I'm gonna try my
BLJ.
best. Alright.
I can BLJ. I can do this.
Oh, it's all of us. Wait, how do you do this? Keep swinging.
I go like this.
Oh, it is like a BLJ.
Good luck, thank you.
Oh my god. Yeah, I kind of want to play Super Mario.
You can do some Super Mario 64.
Yeah. He's swinging to knock down. Oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna win.
Oh my god.
Damn, you mad fast. What the hell?
What the fuck? What the hell are you this fast, dude? Oh my
I
god.
can BLJ. I told you.
That's still mad fast.
I'm like
How do you
smashing
BLJ that fast?
What the fuck? My whole desk is shaking right now. I'm literally.
Wait, I got it. I got
I
it.
can't.
I got it. I got it. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I can't.
I
How?
mean-
Literally how?
Start with an apology. I want peace with Triscuit, but he just hates me. No, I messed up. No. Oh, my finger hurts. By 0.4 seconds, bro, or whatever. Jared,
I was gonna get last. I suck. I actually suck. Oh my god.
Me and Ping could do Super Mario 64 speedrunning. That's why we won.
yeah, pretty much.
You have to tap really fast to backward long jump through a door. So.
I mean, you don't need to do it that fast, but yeah.
Yes, but you learn to do it quick.
All right.
Let's go.
Watch, it's gonna be like I'm gonna win. Jimmy's gonna win. I'm the predicted winner. I'm calling it.
In second place, we have Daisy. I think Jimmy's gonna win. Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, he
No
better.
shot. I don't.
I put money on you, bro.
Okay. Okay. Hey up.
There are some real competitors on the board.
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong. Let's go. Let's go.
Big booty woman.
Someone who everyone knows.
See?
and love. Here they are.
My fat.
King Boo.
I don't know what to tell you,
Yes! Oh, I got this in the bag. Yeah, don't you dare question King Boo. I so got this.
Didn't they say that last time and Luigi got last?
Yeah, but like, you know, whatever. It's
They
fine.
choose whoever's last and then give them bonus coins.
That's so stupid. Blue is good, red is bad. Kind of racist
Yeah.
if you ask me. You know why?
What would the...
You want me to
Why?
tell you? Okay. So red,
Why, yeah.
red is white people who get a bad sunburn, right? They become red. So,
Never thought about it that way.
well, yeah.
No, you bitch!
Let's go.
How do you know where it is?
No, I hate you so much.
I love this. I love this game.
Oh.
I love you.
Yes, I love you.
I love you.
We all love you.
What?
I love you so much.
What
You
the
moved
fuck?
close to me. For like
You're
3
fucking with
spaces.
me, dude. You're fucking with me. Oh my god. It's still 26 away. I hate this fucking game. I hate this so much. Literally, what the fuck is happening?
Rip points. Spoiler alert, Jimmy doesn't. Did you though? Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
Jimmy, language before you get canceled. He's not saying anything.
Sorry,
wrong.
I mean, you're kidding with me. How dare you?
Today, earlier today, I was singing a song called "Fucked with an Anchor" on stream.
That was pretty hot.
Yeah.
It literally includes the words "fuck you." with
Why
a
would you
fucking
go to the
anchor.
bank?
You're all drunk, so fuck you.
It's
all.
closer, that's why. I'll sacrifice 3 coins. It's just 3.
Wow, that's what rich people say. Damn, Jimmy, you're getting banned from my chat apparently.
Why? What did I do?
Gamer said language before you get canceled, and then my worst mod said that's it, I'm a ban Jimmy.
Gamer, you are one to talk about language. Let me tell you.
I'm just joking. You're not my worst mod. Aw.
People normally make fun of me for swearing too British, but I haven't been doing that today.
British?
I normally say stuff like bollocks and wanker.
I like that though. Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like his mic broke and he's just going.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Wait, 5-year-old went to sleep. It's okay.
Wait, if I use my double dice block, I can actually get to the star again.
Yo, Jared, you
Wait,
still
no, I
alive
don't
out
have a
there?
coin.
Jared fell asleep. I'm telling you guys.
Aw. I feel bad.
I don't. Nah, I feel bad.
I won't
I
lie, I
didn't-
forgot I was in the chat. Hello.
You see what I mean?
The guy said something.
Well, it's your turn, so good timing.
No shot. I straight up forgot I wasn't here. What the fuck is up?
I'm alive somehow. Are you falling asleep or what's going on?
Shut up, matey. Shut up.
Didn't you say you were high earlier?
Any language, whatever
high
do you
and
mean?
Oh wow. I should be drunk. Why am I not drinking?
And somehow not asleep yet. Like
Hey,
that's the most amazing part.
No, the
I'm
most
also
amazing
drunk
part.
before the morning.
Most amazing part is you didn't go yet, bro. That's the most amazing part.
I knew he was gonna segue to that.
Just go.
But Pink, I'm not drunk at 4 in the morning. What is this?
That yeah, that actually is crazy. Fairy gets drunk fairly often.
Did you hear that? Or no? Okay.
I'm honestly a little embarrassed that how often I rock up to stream going, "Hey, what's up? I'm a bit drunk right now."
Yeah, I like it though. I like when people are drunk when they come on stream because then I feel like they're more aloof and they'll tell me all their secrets and I could blackmail them later.
You don't know all my secrets. My flatmate, on the other hand, knows all my secrets, and he keeps threatening to tell people.
And you guys streamed together the other day, so
We did. He played some Mario Kart with me.
yeah. So I just need
We
to.
were both shit.
Why can't orphans play GTA? Dark humor. Why? Who's the worst
Yo,
mod?
all 4 of us have to do like a Mario Kart tournament when the new DLC comes out.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to
That'd be so
make
cool.
one, but I don't think
Yeah.
people want to pay money.
More gold
I'm down.
rings.
I'm down for your tournament. I just don't have affiliate.
Yeah, I might change the rules. I made it so like I wanted it to be like everyone puts in some money and then the winner like gets all the money kind of thing.
Yo, that'd be so sick.
Yeah,
do
so
that.
I made an announcement on my Discord, but
Oh, okay.
you're not in my Discord,
Nobody
Jimmy. Yeah, one
I am in your
person react.
Discord. I just like joined it.
Oh, then
Yeah.
react to the latest announcement.
Sorry. I'll do it right now as we speak.
Don't be sorry. It's
All I need
okay.
to do is get like 13 followers and 3 concurrent viewers in the next like week or so.
I think
then,
you could
You
get
got
it.
this.
Yeah. you could
Everyone
get it.
here, please go follow Fairy.
Go follow
right now.
Fairy.
Oh, don't. Okay, we'll do, but don't do it just because you got ours too.
But do it anyway. or not. Make
Do it or
bad.
else. No, do it or else.
Like,
Do it.
comment, and survive.
Anyone that doesn't follow Fairy is gonna get blocked.
Yeah, permaban
What?
Yeah, permanent.
from
Oh,
every
11
website.
followers. forgot that Jimmy and Triscuit followed me.
Because they're not wanted.
shit.
that's kind of funny. Who's
Oh my
the
fucking
worst
god!
mod?
Oh my god!
I don't know.
Yeah.
Jared's got
I
that
don't know.
perfect AFK strat. Love to see it.
Diego, because he hasn't been around.
AFK. Don't
Nah,
even
you're all
really-
good. I like
Thank
all
you,
my
Rosemary,
mods.
for the follow.
We'll see how Dinell is. Though.
Someone actually took your advice and followed me.
Wait, what are you supposed to do? I was reading chat.
No!
Oh, let's go.
Got it.
Oh shit. Oh, do the bombs affect
Thank
it?
you, Angel, for the follow.
Oh, you could jump. Do the bombs affect it, guys?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
I'm just gonna jump in the middle. I think that's the
Oh.
best strat.
You could jump on people.
Yeah, it's pretty hot stuff.
Yeah, kind of hot.
Oh, I just went in the water.
I think we should start this game up.
Make it 1,000. Following isn't worth $100. Make it 1,000. Just follow him. He's never had enough. Well, I gotta read a joke out. Oh, let's go. We have one player who's literally AFK. Oh shit!
Let's go! Whoa!
Love that.
Too cracked. Too cracked.
Guys, impressed fairy ain't drunk. I thought he's never had enough. I was
The
reading
username
chat.
on Twitch would be fair enough, but someone had already taken all variations of it. So I
Well,
just
not
stuck a
all
muffin in again.
variations.
Nope.
I'm sure
all.
they had fair enough ping pong masters or something.
Yeah, but then now to add the ping pong, I wanted just the fair enough.
What's wrong with ping pong?
8. Okay.
I ended up being like, fuck it, I like muffins. Fair enough.
Yep.
I think I was eating a muffin at the time.
Jimmy, my boy, you're cracked out. Thank you, Danelle. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh my god, thank you so much for the 10,000 subs. Sorry, I just got a sub, guys. A few subs my way.
One day, someone's actually going to give you 10,000 subs.
And I'm not
And
gonna respond.
Yeah.
I just say that whenever I feel like the content is drying up. And I say that. And usually people are like, ah ha ha ha. But if no one responds, then I just feel like a dumbass. You got this. Or let's go. Wait,
Fuck
what?
yes.
Oh, you got 10.
Damn.
Let's go.
I know, right,
Oh,
Toadette?
now it's gonna move. Damn.
This is proof of me and Toadette's like relationship. So no one can keep up with you. You're amazing. She even tells me good work.
You got a star.
Damn.
She loves me so much, guys.
This is so cute.
Oh no, it's moving. Oh my fucking god.
This shite
Yeah, it's right there. It's fine.
is
Oh
always
no, I
moving.
can't. It's I need to go the other way around to get it. It's one way. Fuck.
I'm like far.
With that in mind, you'll have each to. Whoa, 5 coins? Nah, chill.
L, your mom's hot and got him. So funny. You got him good.
What are
Poor
you
Danelle.
talking about, bro?
Just.
Have you ever
okay.
actually had someone say that your mom was hot?
Yeah, my dad. Is
When I was in secondary school, I was like 14, and after a parents' evening, this kid just walked up to me and was like, "Dude, your mum is so hot." I was like, "What?"
I've had the opposite case.
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know if it's an opposite, but I was in Japan and one of the kids are like, "Yo, you should marry my mom." And I was like, show me a picture." And then he went to his phone, but I don't remember.
Loser, you'll take my 0 coins.
I don't remember what happened.
Danelle says L plus your stepsister. Tell your sister to call me plus ratio to you. Ping.
I have no.
Wait, I'm so
Wait,
confused.
how do you play this one? Well, Dinell, my stepsister has already called you, and you said she was too ugly for you. So. What do I do? Bowser's
That's one
lurking.
stiff.
Avoid him and his fire.
Oh fuck!
How did I win? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, it's Bowser.
Bowser's in the dark.
And Jared is...
Yo, Jared.
is literally in the dark, sleeping.
Oh no, poor Jared.
Okay, again.
Watch Jared win.
He did.
That AFK strat.
I'm just gonna stand next to him.
All right. How long do we think? How long do we think Jared's gonna take? 'Cause I want to run to the loo.
Go run. Is Jared,
asleep?
asleep?
Probably.
Yeah, who knows?
Poor guy. He's been streaming for hours.
That's no excuse. Get up,
Yeah,
Jared.
RIP Jared.
I'm gonna go wake him up. He lives in my house. Give me a second, guys.
This is so sad, Jared.
He's not
miss
in the Discord call.
Miss you, Jared.
He's legit not in the Discord call.
So sad.
What the heck? What do we do? What do we do, guys? We kick him out?
I don't think we can.
Yeah, he's the host, right?
Yeah, damn.
Damn, but it's your
We
content.
might be a little screwed.
I guess we just ended there. We'll say I won.
I guess so.
Naruto's Sag.
All right, I guess that was no for if I come in top 2.
Wait,
Damn.
who was top 2? Is there a way to check? Or do you remember? Or...
Yo, what's up, losers? It's Bruce from high school.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say we probably call it a night then. Jared,
Yeah.
we'll let Jared be. He's tired.
Yeah.
So I did not come in top 2. I'm gonna raid someone if y'all want to stick around for the raid.
I'm gonna raid someone too. Maybe we all raid that. Let's do it. Let's do one of those.
I'm gonna go play some Mario Kart again. So.
My friend Kanto Kid is streaming drunk right now, and I haven't raided him ever, and he's a good friend of mine, so I'm gonna raid him personally.
Well,
oh, Fairy's still streaming.
Yeah.
But
He'll probably fall asleep or some shit. Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you guys raid me. Because I don't do good content, and I feel bad for your viewers.
Fairy, I'm definitely gonna raid you. I just never raided like one of my closest friends before, and this is like my only opportunity.
No,
He's never live
I
this
don't
time.
want you to raid me. Don't
I'm gonna raid
me.
you, Fairy. I'm gonna raid you. It's okay.
At some point, I will raid you, Fairy, and I will be watching your streams.
At some point, I will raid Kanto.
Yes.
Alright,
Alright, I had a great time with you all, by the way. We should do some collabs more often. I had
For
a good
sure,
time.
it was fun.
Alright, good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye. Oh, finally, bro. We don't have to talk to them. Just kidding. What place did we get, guys? Does anyone know? Before I do stuff. Because I have to give you guys the points. Or else everyone will yell at me. Ping raid Jesus. Jesus is streaming right now. Jared, now, I know I was wrong. I messed up, and now you're gone, Jared. I'm sorry, I'm not neglecting you. I never expected you to run away and leave me. Feeling this empty, your meow. Alright, bro. Alright, chill. That was fun until I stopped playing with y'all. You got third. Did I actually? Bro, don't bullshit me, bro. Don't bullshit me. I lost points on Jimmy's thing, I just realized. I don't know how to check, so I might just return all the points, guys. You were in second. Jared was first, or maybe Fairy took it. I don't know who to trust. We got 3 people voting for Ping or Jimmy and 3 for Jared or Fairy. Oh, either way. You were in second, Jared was first, or maybe Fairy took it. Fairy or Jared wins. I don't know if you're saying that because you voted for Jerry or Fairy. Well, I don't know if you did. You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I supposed to know? The streamer. Let's roll the credits, yeah? Before we raid Fairy. Thanks for all the bits, guys. Gamer, it was nice meeting you. You're very trolly, but pretty chill. If you're still here. Yeah. Last time I checked, you were a third. I don't care what you do. But if I was, well, Jimmy said he lost. So if I was third last you checked, then me and Jimmy lost, and Jared or Fairy won. All right, let's go Jared or Fairy. You were second. Okay, so Jared was first. Wait, how was Jared first? No, I was doing so well. I had like 80 coins. I had 0 stars though, but one person had 1 star. Whatever, I don't care. I'm gonna return the points. Sorry guys. That's gonna be an awe. Okay, an awe. But thanks for being here, guys. Check out Fairy, follow him. Let's make him become affiliate. Like even if you can't watch, you're tired, whatever, maybe lurk a little bit, you know, give him boost the viewer count just for a bit. I don't like that normally, but at least so he reaches affiliate, you know. And yeah. Jared was first all game. Oh. That's fine, the game didn't actually finish. True. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow for it might be a really good I forgot the camera changed. It might be a really good stream. It depends if what I've ordered came or not. So that should be a cool, not a really good, it should be a cool stream. If it's not, it'll be a chill stream. You know, I haven't played SM64 in a while, so SM64, Hollow Knight. Oh, we're gonna do watching vids that you guys send me and stuff. So you could send videos you want to send me. And yeah, dildo review. Hell yeah. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. And goodbye. Bye-bye. Good night, guys.
Oh my goodness, yo. That's so funny. Yo, drop Jimmy a follow.